Good evening. Oh my gosh, it's a Tuesday evening. Easy. We got almost all dungeons. The extra A, I'm sure maybe Dante had something to do with it. But here we are in the thick of week 3, Link to Pass Randomizer Invitational League. We've got Pink Link facing off against, I believe it should be Dark Link, here with a Will WC representing Team Infinity and Pgog. Facing off versus SNT, Superman Taylor on Team Terranigma is a great game, which, I really, can't complain that it is. Should be an amazing match. Awesome time. I'm with, of course, the one, the only, the Cloud. Tracking for us is the 10 Iker. Maybe we'll get a couple more eyes after this match. Days, how's it going?
I'm not used to being referred to as the Cloud. I'm trying to decide how I feel about it.
Well, the big data is all the rage these days. The Cloud really is like everywhere. You actually could be, like you might give Iker a run for his money for tracking. I'm just saying.
Oh, I get you. Well, yeah, we can see how it goes here. But why don't we just go ahead and start this seed? I'm great, by the way.
Perfect. All right. Okay. Oh, look at that. All right. So we got dueling starts. All right, Sync. Start already. That was a big key to something that okay, thank you. See, Iker already on top of things. My things already. We got mapped Eastern Palace, of course, not going to be on the tracker, but for what it's worth. Okay, so yeah, so this is all the rage this week. Almost all dungeons, and with keys, so all maps, compasses, and small keys, big keys are going to be shuffled. We do have to, so the goal technically is defeat Ganon, but GT big key is always on pedestal, so you're going to have to get, in this case, all 7 crystals, and all 3 pendants. Most notably, as I believe there was some confusion earlier, before the week started, is that yes, you do not in fact do AGA 1 for the goal completion. You might still do it for Dark World access or whatever's on Lumberjack, but just bear in mind that you may not necessarily have to kill the wizard, the single wizard. The triple one though, you absolutely have to.
Yeah, definitely. There's a little bit of that coming up here, where we are going to be seeing every single thing in this game as Super Nintendo Taylor picks up his big key to Ice Palace there. Looking at Lumberjack, got nothing, but yeah, we're going everywhere. We're doing everything. Mm-hmm. And the whole idea of this is you're going to try to do this as fast as humanly possible.
Yes. So I will say, go for a taste. Yes.
Oh, I was just going to say, so yeah, I mean, the name of the game today is efficiency. Try not to leave something big behind. Try to go through chunks if possible. It's an awkward mode where you can either have an amazing seed, finish it in the 130s, or you can have something horrible happen to you. You have to go into GT to get your last pendant, big key or entry or ice rod or something, and then
So actually, so speaking of, so this is actually the game 2 of, some might consider this a double header, depending on what your sleep schedule is. Thalane and Humbug, actually their counterparts for this particular week's matchup, actually played earlier this afternoon. It's everything's always referenced in Eastern Rando time zone. And talking about good seeds, so I didn't actually witness it in person, but looking at the times, 131, 135, I think that's a pretty dang good seed. I assume they got beats early.
That would be something exactly where everything was exactly where they wanted to be. So yeah, here's hoping I can see something like that eventually. Here as blue whale at the Lost Woods there, as we get a lamp in blindside as well.
Yeah, all right, we've got an early fire source. That's always kind of nice to see. And of course, in this mode, again, AGA 1 is not necessarily correct. And for what it's worth, you still have to go find the 2 castle tower keys, just like in any keys mode. And so it's just, the recommended number, of course, to find castle tower keys is just 1, because those 2 chests in Castle Tower still can contain items that you may need, so you do want to still, as you said earlier, efficiently try and route in Castle Tower. So that being said, though, sometimes one of the things that this mode tries to mitigate is that second Castle Tower small key / your 20th ice rod. Trying to hunt in this 80 keys type of variance.
All right, yeah, definitely. It can be very fluid. Let's call it that. Very fluid with how it goes on here. Will, unfortunately, not having the money to buy bombs here, not doing the uncle start that Superman Taylor did and being rewarded with some bombs, is going to have to drop down into the well one more time, grab another 5 rupees there so he can go to the bomb shop to be able to buy some bombs.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and this is, for what it's worth, so you typically don't often see these types of, like, early bomb money farming in Kakariko, but it is, quite heads up to be, again, you are trying to clear out this place, and every once in a while, you're not really, given a lot of resources. Even there are a plethora of checks here in Kakariko, right? So, very, good to be able to at least, farm out, like, the necessary resources you need.
Yeah, definitely. And then kind of the other thing that's going to go with this here is I'm kind of wondering how these guys are going to get bottle vendor money, or if that's just something that both runners, as result of their start, is just going to have to kind of say, well, I guess we'll get that later though.
Where is S&T going?
Oh,
we're forming something.
Yeah, I think he was trying to. I think he might have. I don't think it was the green guards though that were on the bomb drops. I want to say it was the. He's trying to farm money, I think. Actually,
I see. Oh, and this is actually talk about being efficient. And that one bomb actually that afforded S&T, right? He could actually get the back 10 rupees as well from the well, as opposed to Will, right? He didn't have a bomb. When we have bombs now, so thank you, sick kid.
Yeah,
you're a real pal. Just being able to give us bombs straight after.
Yeah, 1 bottle. That's all you need to get 3 bombs there to make you feel really great about spending the 50 rupees on having to buy bombs.
You're telling me that it's not limited to cross keys where you get the item exactly like 30 seconds after you wanted them? Okay, gotcha.
I mean, see, there's a commonality between cross keys and AAD. DDD,
the Dan and Dante. Okay.
Anti-keys.
Yep.
There's a commonality between that, and that's keys. And one thing you will learn if you play this game enough is that keys are jerks.
I see. Okay, I'm writing this down. For future races this week.
Keys will occasionally just decide that your seed is going to be the worst. It's just going to be the worst, and you have to try to work around that.
Yeah. So okay, and you're talking about potentially fast seeds happening, and kind of like the opposite, right? So keys can certainly be just we've certainly seen a lot of cross keys, AAD, whatever keys, any type of these things, right? Yes, as you said, various big keys only lock 1 to 2 items, effectively just like another ice rod you got to go find. And of course, there's only one of them in the pool. There's no 10 Meyer big keys. You're gonna have to go find the one and only. Speaking of the one and only, I would really like to see Boots come up with these guys. So I know a lot of people have been practicing like the asyncs that Tabby was very generous to kind of put together. So that being said, if if you haven't played any asyncs, I highly recommend that you be the pioneers of the async sheets. Put the time. Try the seeds that don't have any times with them. You might thank me later. Much more so maybe than the other ones that already have submissions.
I mean, I played a couple of those async seeds, and a few of them you realize very quickly that how much one decision in these modes can just absolutely destroy your seed there. You can switch from 20 minutes can be the difference between getting choosing the wrong doorway and pod.
All of these things. I'm sorry.
So, but if we go back for just a moment here, Clear Mouse, there are items in this game, right?
Yes. We're still looking for those items. I know that, and plus, I know that Iker, he's really good at catching those items. So I know that the tracker is completely accurate. That being said, I'm afraid that, this seed might be putting him to sleep because we have had very few trackable items.
We haven't had anything to talk about. Like Iker got to click the blue boomerang there coming out of the well.
Oh yeah.
But, moving on, we've got I'm not
We've
sure.
got Will putting that blue boomerang to great use. Is he checking the stun prize? Oh, look at that
Ooh, the stun
great
prize
stun
is good.
prize. Yeah.
So problem is it's real nice that the stun prize is 20 rupees and everything. Hey, we got a mirror.
Well,
That's kind of nice.
talk about that niceness. Yeah, we so suddenly the seed is looking, at least from some spoilers team perspective, that mirror certainly does make modes such as keys / cross keys playable. Of course, as you did mention, like we now know the stun prize. We have 3 bombs at the moment to be able to take advantage of that stun prize.
You read my mind there. It's oh good, we have the stun prize. Now, how do we actually kill the enemy? We've stunned him.
That's
Success.
right. Yes.
Now what? But yeah, I guess we're gonna have to head over here to towards the eastern palace area here. We're gonna check Sasarala here, find out our green pendant is in Misery Mire today. So that adds to the complication of possibly needing a medallion out of GT or the Mire Big Key out of GT today. So get to put a little pin in that for later.
That's right. Yeah, that's right, and that's why of course, Iker, marking of course the green pen. Yeah, as you said, the worrisome parts, of well, in this case, a whatever AD keys variant that you might like is that the pendant big keys, that the ones that require you to have the big key to beat the dungeon, can absolutely live in GT. And the dream of any AD keys variant is that you can just completely avoid the basement and just climb. Because you don't have to spend like 5 minutes trying to look for stuff. However, that being said, it's not always the layout that you're given. Talking about though, we are getting into Eastern Palace. I do actually like this from both Will and S&T. I believe only Will has an emote though.
Yeah, but I kind of noticed something very awkward for S&T right now.
Look at that.
Well, I mean, we did get a glove there out of first chest of Eastern Palace, you're right. But for S&T, he's got a slight problem. He's got 0 bombs, and he's also got 14 rupees. So he's in this weird situation here where he might have to farm bombs depending on what the rest of Eastern Palace shows us here, because we're gonna wait. Will's gonna be the first person through. But we're gonna have to kind of watch to see if it's rupees or not. But yeah, see, S&T being a smart player there does know that there are 5 rupee pots there standing right next to the other thing. They're taking a second to pick those up.
Oh yeah, kind of like as you did kind of mention earlier, resources. Well, so S&T hasn't been South Shore yet, so he doesn't kind of know about the almost 400 rupees that Will picked up there. But I mean, like, it kind of from Chris' perspective so far, the seat's kind of being stingy, and early resources, money especially. If you don't, I mean, we have no weapon basically except those bombs. So if you got to really kind of be conscious of how you're going. If you're actually going to need bombs, use bombs. We have a cape. And a lamp.
Yep.
Are you waiting for a second? Are you waiting for that Castle Tower small key?
I don't actually think I am. But we'll see. Like usually by now, a Castle Tower small key would have shown up if we were going to be heading towards Aga. I don't really. I don't really see it here. I mean, yeah, and I see we've got Resi there in chat there. Kind of mentioning this is why he Houlihan's. He's one of S&T's teammates here. It's a completely valid play in a mode like this.
For sure.
Yeah, the big question kind of comes into it takes a little bit of time.
Yeah.
And time is of the essence in this mode, because chances are everybody's going to complete almost everything in this seed.
That's right. Almost. AE everything. Is that the Big Kid Eastern? Oh my god.
Okay, game. That's
I'm
cute.
sorry. I was not expecting that. All right. Well, again, this is why you don't skip Eastern Palace when you are missing maybe at least one item from being able to clear it. But yes, yeah. So okay. Well, suddenly we're gonna get 5 checks out of very very cute.
A mushroom. can we go check the mushroom? And hey, who wants to hula hand now? Because now you just got a cross keys hula hand almost. You know, you just jump up, go get that, and then there you go. You're done.
Yeah,
Everything's
exactly.
happening.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All right, Will. So Will, taking advantage of that mirror that we found in Ice Rock Cave, or he found in Ice Rock Cave, as in he's not quite there yet. I'm gonna be able to get out of Sank just a little bit faster. I mean, with the boots, it's gonna be, pretty even, just in terms of time out of it. But without the boots, the mirror is definitely a nice time save.
Now, Clear Mouse, do you know how I know that you haven't played too many of the asyncs yet? You're talking about boots like they're not in GT.
Look, I have so much copium for boots. I'm really, really hoping, that S&T and Will find boots with, a sword or two. That would be spectacular.
Yeah, that would be good. We'll see what happens here. So we're gonna go ahead here after coming out of the back of escape there, getting a whole bunch more money. We're gonna run over to the witch's hut. We're taking a quick second to add a little bit of delay to the stream here to kind of maybe hope smooth it out a little bit. We'll see.
Yeah, thank you.
Big shout outs to Matt Ewalker there, who's kind of
for
set
sure
up everything today, and trying to work with two guys in two different locations, streaming a 35-year-old video game and trying to make sure that nothing goes wrong.
Yeah, I almost feel like it's one of those, like, you touch, it's like it's not necessarily like a house of cards, but it's like you touch one thing, it's like a perfectly balanced, but you touch one thing and like everything breaks, that's what I'm worried about. Oh my gosh, we have a sword. Look at the value here at Eastern Palace. I wonder if anyone's still awake from any of the Eastern skippers.
Okay, so now
sword?
You mentioned that you were like kind of thinking about Aga at this point. Okay, now I'm starting to think maybe a little
just a little bit more. Okay, all right, that's fair. That's fair.
Please.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, we call it almost all dungeons, in that Aga isn't 100% required, but
yeah, that percentage though, from the zero, yes.
Game might just decide, hey, guess what? You got to do Aga this time here. As a Super Nintendo being kind of smart with his movement there, deciding that I have a glove. There's a rock outside of Link's house that gives me bombs. Let me hit this a few times and see if I can, get a few more bombs. And sure enough, got one. So, depending on what their next move is, he could head to Mini Moldorm Cave, get more money than he knows what to do with.
That's true. And I guess for what it's worth, like, I see a lot of this also, just very, good resource management, especially, those who are in the invitational level, for a league. You never know in this case when you need that extra bomb, especially, well, this is probably more amplified in Entrance, right? Because you don't necessarily know where you're going to end up, what part of the world. But, for example, like, as you mentioned, right? We need exactly one bomb to get into Mini Moldorm Cave, if we don't have any, that's not really a good place you want to go to, right? Hype Cave needs 2 bombs. Sometimes if you're not careful or you don't necessarily notice what your resource is, well, it's a real sad feeling when you get all the way to Hype Cave, right? And you're just like, oh, I see, I can't get to the back, and then you got to spend all this extra time, again, being inefficient. So you actually have, you have to go back and get the last 4.
Unfortunately, I'm starting to wonder if the seed is just going to force inefficiency, because we've already got the runners going down into the escape sequence, which, since this is a keys mode, only this very first chest that Will's going to show us here, because I think Super Nintendo froze when we saw it here, only this first chest is actually in logic. Right now,
that's true,
what we have is that's a hammer.
Okay. As S&T has already quick swapped over to that item that we have just found. You know what? So that hammer with is first chest, as you said, is in logic. So we're just a pearl away. Is that right?
Yeah, we're just a pearl away. Mountain is starting to look extremely good for Will. For Super and then Taylor, he's probably just going, oh, okay, Moon Pearl is just sitting in Mini Moldorm Cave. Let me go get that here in just a moment. But it looks like we're gonna go. I assume this is a dark crossplay. He went to the down to the cell first instead.
Yeah, and I mean, like, and I don't really think this makes a difference, either way. But maybe, because SN doesn't have the mirror, I assume it's faster to Death Warp from the Green Guard. Although, well, yeah,
Oh,
you know what? Actually, probably it is, right? Because he has Blue Mail. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if you're gonna death warp from here, what you're gonna do is you're just gonna hug those snakes in that little hallway SMT went through
Hug
the
those
first
snakes,
time there.
man.
Yeah,
that's not a
hug those,
comfy feeling.
hug those snakes until you get down to about 1.5 hearts there, then make your run for the thing here. And I kind of wondered if Will was going to do this. He's sitting here at the castle with having the mirror, the first chest of the castle tower, Agina Aghanim climb.
A almost,
So many
almost
A's
like
in this.
D something. Yes, I
Yeah,
gotcha.
it's in logic. So I kind of wondered if
is,
Will
yeah.
was going to come up here and, kill some guards. And yeah, it looks like that's what he's going to do here real fast. As, of course, the ball and chains are...
Yeah, it's real swell with the hammer as your primary weapon.
All right. But nothing there. Does mean that, of course, we have created a significant orphan there, as that second chest of Castle Tower also can still have something.
You are absolutely correct, but I mean, surely someone will go back to it to adopt that one chest. Maybe S&T can get both of them at once, since he has still both chests available to him, or I mean, unchecked for him as that.
Right, and for honestly for Will, it's not really that bad of a thing, because I mean, if
do you remember when we were talking about bombs days?
Well, you got another one?
Well, he had 0 going in, and then I did see him trying to farm a little bit from the South Shore price pack enemies, and lo and behold, we were rewarded with a 50/50 drop.
Yeah, it does look like the birds are giving us are on the bomb pack today. So like worst case scenario, you can start killing a bunch of birds, and in this game, birds are also jerks. Keys are jerks, and birds are jerks.
Is there anything nice about the game, Dave? Out of curiosity,
quite a bit. I mean,
okay.
Seriously fun. It's just there's a lot of enemies in here that are programmed to be jerks.
Okay, that is very fair. And for light world enemies especially, I do agree. They are certainly on the meaner side. They like try and chase you and stuff and like hurt you. Like why would you do that? And why we can just be pacifists.
Yeah. They're terrible here. So okay, it looks like we got Will, and I'm guessing this is Will and S&T heading up towards the climb here. S&T hasn't gone to Icerod Cave here, so he's just going to get the old man. Will has not checked Bottle Vendor yet. I was wondering.
Right. Yes, we were very poor.
Yeah, so for S&T, this is going to be kind of a trick here. As Will's going to also get his last item out of the pack of the well.
Oh, right.
I forget what this was. I think it was garbage, but...
yeah, I don't think it was anything. Heart piece, maybe?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Oh, okay. All right, it's just 20 rupees. That's basically the same thing. S&T, by the way, again, this is, it shows his experience through this game. He has been farming, as you said, those birds, because they're in the bomb prize pack. He has paid attention. He has exactly 1 bomb, right? And he tried to get it before coming up here to the mountain, because, you know what's really useful, actually, in Paradox Cave, Dazed? It starts with a B and ends with a B, and it has OM in the middle.
OM bombos? Bombs?
Yes. Yeah, it is bomb. If only bombos could actually open
Could be bombos and bombs.
Oh my gosh, though. All right. Well, S&T also got kind of sort of, well, okay, like the old man would have bailed you out regardless. However, yes.
Yeah, it's
but you can't bank on that though.
Yeah. It's hard to say here. Super NT is just gonna Super NT. That's a different thing.
It is, yes.
SNT is going to go up here. He's going to look inside Spec Rock. And to be honest, if you're rooting for SNT, you do not want to see the Moon Pearl here. That's just a key. So, okay. Because if he had seen the Moon Pearl here, that mirror might have been orphaned for a really long time. Now, the good news for him is he's going to have to go. I guess good news, this is in heavy quotes here, but that mirror, he's going to have to go get it from Icerod Cave, which is a walk. But yeah,
True, true. Ooh, okay. It's our first TR, small key as well. So that's going to be pretty nice to have. I mean, so of course, in keys modes, you need at least 3 Turtle Rock small keys. Of course, the hope is that you have. Yeah, so you need 3 Turtle Rock small keys to clear the dungeon, as in to beat the boss, along with all the other stuff, right? Big key, ice rod, fire rod, cane, etc., etc. You would just really like to have that 4th key. So again, you don't create another hole, in your traversal of Turtle Rock to necessarily leave the vanilla big key chest behind. It has, burned many a runner before.
Right. Definitely, definitely. It's one of those things where you've just kind of got this now. Since Will's frozen a little bit, I went ahead and pulled up his stream. It looks like he just got out of Tower of Hera, picked up the 2 items there. Hasn't found Moon Pearl as of yet, but is now making his way over to Paradox Cave here, just so we can kind of keep a tabs on what's actually going on the screen while we're waiting for it to get there. And it looks like we just spied a quake on the floating island as well.
Okay, that's it's good knowledge to know. And yeah, so as you did mention though, like it does seem like at least the mirror currently, at least, like looks like it is going to be at least initially required to get to the mountain. We certainly can find the hook shot somewhere else, but we're kind of running out of locations for
And
things to be able
I
to
guess I'm
be.
going to apologize for spoilers here, as Will has come back 20
Oh,
seconds past.
okay. Ooh, we have another TR small key. Okay, well that's kind of cute. One TR small in a spec rock, one TR key on top of spec rock, one inside. Okay, so alright, so we also do not have the big key to Hera, unless of course it magically appears in this dungeon before we climb. No hookshot means that we're just gonna be able to check these first 2. And yes, like, for those of you that are Tile Room fans, we do not have the Hera small key. So, we cannot, further subject to ourselves to, lots of fun sitting through Tile Room.
Yeah, no, that will undoubtedly show up at absolutely the worst possible time.
Oh, yeah, when you're looking for your, second to last ice rod or something, and you find it, to be a Hera small key, yes, I absolutely agree.
Yeah, no, that'll be there eventually at some point, and when it shows up, we'll all just kind of say,
Mm-hmm.
But yep, okay. So we're gonna try to get everybody resynced here in just a moment. But you know, outside of that, make sure to try to go ahead and follow these runners. Give them give them the big shout outs and everything here. So we've got everybody synced up back in here again. So thank you, Maddie, for the servers are definitely being temperamental today. We will say that.
Yeah. A lot of action going on, sometimes like the rando, affects things that you may not necessarily expect. All of the excitement.
Yeah, and I think Super NT, Super NT. I'm gonna
No, it's
keep
fine. It's fine.
calling him that.
SNT,
I'm gonna keep calling
he
that
is a very
SNT
yeah,
Super Nintaler.
he is.
Let's
He's
go
a
that
very
way.
super kind of guy.
He is a Superman. But we are gonna go down to Ice Rod Cave. I think at this point, there's not much else that we can do here. Unfortunately, he's gonna find out. Oh, good. It's not even 30 minutes into the game, and I've last located an item. Yeah, this is going well.
Yeah. Okay, so Days, okay, so since you're, if you're in S&T shoes, right, and in this case, we have seen that, yes, unfortunately, the mirror is located in Ice Rock Cave, so would you be tempted at all to do Zora, like, while you're here, or some of the flipper checks? You don't have the Pearl, but Zora himself is in Logic with the glove.
Yeah, I to be honest, at this point, man, it's such a hard decision here, because, like, you want to try to play this as straight up as you can, but at the same time you have to realize that if my opponent came down here with bombs, they have this already. I might need to make a bit of a more Hail Mary-ish sort of play. It looks like he's doing that same calculus
he's thinking.
right
This
now.
is the super thinking time of Super Nintaler's Trek.
Like, if he goes to Zora and happens to find like flute or boots or something like that, that can significantly increase, his decrease the amount of time that he's got to spend here. It's kind of hard to say if that's going to happen as Will finds the
Wait,
flippers
the flippers
immediately.
and Hype Cave? Okay, well, now that all the stuff that S&T is checking out of
There's
logic, and he
flute as
finds the
well.
flute in Hype Cave? Oh, wow. Very, very blue cape today. And yes, so Will took his mirror and hammer and got all the way over to Paradox Cave. And yes, he not only found the pearl, he also found Kata Samaria as well. So, I mean, not strictly useful right now, but we're certainly going to need it. Almost all of the dungeons need to be completed, and certainly Meyer and Turtle Rock. And not to mention, Ice Palace, very convenient to have for. Speaking of Ice Palace, and Turtle Rock for that matter. Okay.
Yeah, at this point, since we get that Ice Palace big key so quickly there,
yeah.
immediately, as soon as we find a way of killing some Freezors and breaking Cold Stare's shell, we can go directly into there.
I am a big fan of diving Ice Palace as the earliest possible time that you can in the seed. So I'm definitely looking forward, to that Bombos or the Fire Rod.
Yeah, well, 6 hearts, blue mail. I mean, let's roll this. Let's have a little fun.
These guys are in the Invitational League days. I feel like they should, they should get some exercise, and they can't just coast everywhere, with like gold sword and silvers. I wouldn't mind if they, kind of like glided a little with some boots, but I'm just saying, like you got to challenge them just a little bit at the very least.
Just a little bit. Hey, just a quick shout out to my teammates race yesterday who had a completely forced hammerless Ice Palace dip there.
Okay, that sounds terrible. Days.
It was interesting to watch. Both him and Shireen there just absolutely went right through it without any problem.
Oh really? Oh really?
Oh
okay.
yeah,
right.
yeah. No, they both got through it. They proved that the Invitational runners are no joke in this league.
Yeah.
The open runners, if we're being honest here, are no joke in this league.
Yeah, that's also really true. I mean, it's I think it's been kind of shown for almost every tournament, throughout the years. It's just like the skill floor, I guess, if you can call that, for people have just like it's just risen so high, basically. People have improved so much. Let's say like exponentially, but like orders of magnitude, right? It's like Challenge Cup isn't even. It used to be maybe like, I mean, Challenge Cup is still kind of like a secondary type of tournament, but I mean like the people in Challenge Cup still are like really good, right? People in Open League really good. People who join cross all these tournaments, right? It's just like there's no more free spots anymore. It's you're still basically trying to hang on, basically, for your tournament life, basically every single match.
Yeah, no, it's rough, and especially like you said, I mean, you get into any of these open league or invitational league, it's just there's not really easy matchups. Open league, you occasionally can get somebody who's played the seed, maybe only played the game maybe only like 50 times or something like that.
Only 50.
Well, invitational league, you might get someone who's played it 500 sometimes.
That sounds kind of low, honestly, for invitational.
Yeah,
but yeah, I definitely understand. I mean, so I know certainly like Will and S&T have both been around for like quite some time, and I mean, I know that S&T is taking a little bit of a rando break, but he's come back, de-rusted a lot, come basically straight through.
Yeah, no, I remember Super NT. I'm gonna keep doing it. Super Taylor from he was one of those guys that I was watching when I was starting out, all those years back, and way back ago, in the long ago.
Hey, Daze. So do you remember when you said something about like that Harris Monkey is gonna show up at the most inopportune time?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, okay. So I guess I have to retract that claim just a little bit, because that's not the most inopportune time, because we haven't cleared Hera yet. So
okay, that's true. We also don't have
reasonable.
Okay. It's reasonable. I see where the bar is. It's not high. It's what I'm also noticing.
No. Just don't come immediately after I finish Hera and I've left the mountain.
Okay,
because that's
fair,
when your lights go up, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, when you've actually, at least, like you don't have any more potholes, right? You just maybe have, like this whole like gap or something that you haven't actually filled yet. So.
All right, so Super Nintailor gonna go over here to Hype Cave, gonna get his flippers, gonna get his flute here. Will making his way up to the pyramid. Still don't have a castle tower small key, so unfortunately that Agatu chest is just gonna be. That is just getting orphaned to all heck, and that's
Yeah.
a last location at this point. I feel like.
Yeah, and it's kind of interesting. I guess I'm curious to see where Will decides to go on this route, because checking Pyramid. Well, I mean, it looks certainly on his route, but on whatever route that he's taking. But as you did mention, right, like we have the mirror coming here to the Pyramid does negate or does basically eliminate another opportunity that he could come back later, basically to try and combine the Castle Tower check for. So. But I guess, there's still the option of Pyramid Fairy. However, given the 5-6 crystals, I'm a little, less optimistic about, that opportunity.
Yeah. One thing with the seed, these kind of seeds is they can almost be strangely linear at times. It starts to, all of a sudden we'll see an ice rod or a fire rod show up here, and then at that point we start looking side eyes up at Turtle Rock. We dip Ice Palace and find like a Turtle Rock big key in here, and then bam, there you go. Pyramid Fairies and logic, and it's your next thing.
Yeah, I guess for what it's worth, I guess it could be true. Yeah, in order to get this 5-6 crystals, we find a fire rod, an ice rod, and TR big, right? And of course, logic, speed, and TR small, but. Suddenly, you are absolutely correct. We're like minutes away from being. You know what? Talk about. Is that the? I was like, is that our Turtle Rock care package right here in Waterfall Fairy?
Nearly.
No.
Okay, that's fun. So yeah, Ice Rod there in Waterfall Fairy, along with the Swamp Palace big key, not the Turtle Rock big key.
Yeah, and and that's these Skullwood's big key, Swamp Palace big key, even Ice Palace big key, right? Even though Ice Palace is the one that's like logically needed in order to beat the dungeon. I mean, you always want these before you go into the dungeon. Again, these are more reasonable. I would dare say even encourage times, to be finding these keys, right? Like this is the moment we actually want to find the keys, as opposed to the exact opposite, where we never want to see the key after we've beaten the dungeon.
Yep. Very true. Get a map 2 pod there, which is of limited utility. We'll call it just limited.
Yes, so, that sounds great.
Okay, Super Nintendo are gonna go and come into the Dark World here from the Village Valcast portal. Probably check out Thieves Town, a couple of other things. Looks like Will's gonna just join him here, so we're gonna get some tag team action here on Village Valcast and Skull Woods probably.
Yeah, looks like it. Looks like maybe S&T had a little bit of indecision. Or maybe that was just like his the screen freezing, but it actually did look like maybe he was a little hesitant of coming in. But all things considered, it's a pretty reasonable place to be. We don't have any real keys for this area. Like certainly to kill out Thieves Town, we at least need a Thieves Town big key. Thieves Town small key would be real again. It'd be real nice to have. But of course, in this case, if we don't have the big key yet, no necessarily need to worry about that small key.
Yep. No. At that point, that's one of those where you just go, okay, time to get the first 4, see what you got for me, and then I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Because at some point here, the game has got to give us, something.
Something. You would think that. Days, out of curiosity, have you played some of the asyncs?
I have.
Okay.
I've played 1 or 2 where you just sat there and you got nearly to the hour mark and you're just like, game, anytime you're ready.
Okay, all right, okay. So yeah, I'm just wondering in this case, about that, about the validity of the statement where the game surely has to give you something. We're still looking.
Eventually, you run out of green squares to go to. And at that point, there's usually one last green square, and that's the one that.
That's the real great one that we love to. It's always
that's
the
when
greatest
everything
feeling.
is amazing.
Yes. How many cups of tea have you had by that point?
I'm only on a half a cup of coffee so far.
Half a
But thanks
cup of
for asking.
coffee. Okay, all right, okay. Okay, okay. Well, by the way, we might be visiting the mountain again. So we had that small key. At least for Will, is looking, pretty attractive to actually kind of go back there. Right? We found the big key to Hera. He found the small key to Hera on like Highlight Island that he was able to kind of efficiently get. In this case, after his hype cave, hype cave traversal. So now the entirety of the dungeon actually looks pretty, pretty clearable.
Yep. Yeah, go get the 4 items out here, take a little coffee break in there in the basement, and just kind of wait for something to happen. As we do get a little information that Thieves Town is a crystal, thanks to that lovely C in the top left corner up there.
Mm-hmm.
But
I'm a little disappointed that we don't have the compass yet, though, because we can't. There's no counter to help us basically figure out how many dungeon items are still left.
I mean, you use your fingers, right?
I mean, do I have enough
of
though?
course,
I don't.
then
I
you also
know.
have to then probably write it down afterwards, because if you've used your fingers and it goes to a new dungeon, you can't keep counting from there. And
Yeah,
I
that's
guess
true. What if I grow more fingers?
216, I think. Is the appropriate
that
number.
might be a lot to manage. I'm looking at my current 2 hands right now.
It is
I don't know
Halloween.
where even the 12th one or the 13th one would go.
I just want to thank everybody for joining us today. As
Yeah.
giving you incredibly pleasant images to think about today. Have a good one.
Dave, it's in the spirit of Halloween, all right? This is at least, early October. Haven't you seen at least here in the States, they even started all their Halloween sales even before the States. So everyone's getting geared up to be, spooked.
Of course. You got to make your money. You got to make that.
Yeah. Well, talk about scary places to be. We are here, of course, in the front of Skull Woods. Well, I mean, it's not maybe quite the same value percentage, that is in non-keys modes, but I'm sure there are some very optimistic Dunka stats that will tell you that you should always go to Skull Woods regardless. Hey, is that a small key to this dungeon? Hey, it is. Look.
I mean, that's actually kind of nice there, because that means you don't need to.
That's true, actually. Yeah, you can actually just leave.
One out of the pot now, because you can be like, all right, that's here for when I get the fire rod, and I can come back and finish this. Sweet. But yeah, I got Super Nintendo making a way to Graveyard Ledge, which I don't believe we've been to yet either. Ooh, I didn't know you could do that. That was very smart.
Yeah, looks like it though.
It's
and
amazing what
actually,
happens when you have that much experience playing this game.
That's also kind of like a real cool thing to see. Well, speaking of ours, we have the big key to Turtle Rock. I was gonna say, it's like, even though you mentioned this is like a 35-year-old game, that we're actually been watching, throughout the years. It doesn't actually matter. It seems like how long you've been watching. You're always be able to learn something new. It's like, oh, I didn't know you could do that. And that, it's like, I didn't know you could have to save like a free, 20 frames here, 5 seconds here. I didn't know you could do that. I think it's really cool.
The amount of knowledge coming out of this game to this day are things that people discover. I mean, we kind of had a dead period for a little while, and then recently we had this thing called Specky Clip, which just made it so that if you don't have a hammer and you go to Swamp, well, you don't care anymore.
Okay.
Jump
how
through
about
a barrier and then go, I'm now in this dungeon. Sweet.
Yeah, sweet. Just of course, PSA. Not having the hammer, it could make the Argus fight a little tricky. If you also don't have a sword as well. I'm just saying, like, that scenario was maybe never thought of, even in cross keys, like where you fight everything with anything.
If you go into Swamp without a sword and you don't get one there, it can be entertaining.
It was definitely entertaining. 100%.
That's part of the game, though. Part of the game is adaptability. I have done something and now I have to handle it this way. How am I going to do it? Like this, I guess. Okay. Did it work? Sure. Cool. Awesome. Great. Moving on.
Oh yeah. Okay, so it looks like ST is actually kind of retracing some of Will's footsteps, at least, to kind of route in North Dark World and Catfish, and then of course with the mirror and the flippers, being able to not, in this case, isolate the flipper checks or the water checks as well. So it's going to be really good, for both, of course, Will and S&T. So as you mentioned, this is efficiency, right? This is what you kind of need to try and capitalize on. Despite the game really trying to make you inefficient. You mentioned this like 20 minutes ago, or however long it was.
Yeah, I mean, it's been going interestingly. For Super Nintendo, it was, he's been kind of behind the 8 ball already because just he didn't have the bombs to go to Ice Rod Cave, and then of course the Ice Rod Cave decided to have the one item he needed to kind of open up the rest of the seeds. So running a little bit behind here, still being relatively efficient with what he's checked so far.
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Gonna make his way out of the Zora area, it looks like, to continue his Dark World route here, which I don't know if he needs to do that, or we're picking up the 50 rupees? Okay.
Okay, I guess we just want more money in this case. It could also be more thinking time, you never know something, so I know that we only really care about rupees in terms of, like, major purchases, right? Zora, pod, chess game, I guess, to some extent. But I mean, like, potions, like potions and stuff also cost money, right, from the potion shop. So never really hurts to have a little bit of extra cash if you need it.
Oh, definitely. Looks like Will has made his decision on one of the few places he can go at this point, and we're heading up the Tower of Hera to go and get the next 4 items out of here. Gonna find out if this is some sort of progression. I feel like at some point here,
Yeah.
Fire Rod or some mitts or even Clear Mouse's fabled boots or something.
Legends say that in ancient Hylian lore, they do exist. Now, that being said, apparently also a Triforce exists, but we've all seen where the Triforce is. So, again, you gotta be a little bit optimistic here, maybe, for those boots. It could be false hope, but you still gotta believe.
Yep. You gotta hope at some point here.
That's right.
With the way things are going, right now we're just waiting to see what's in Hera basement here. It's like I wonder if Super Nintaler is going to continue to pod, and that save and quit answers my question.
Yeah, he also did not do, I think, the first chest of Castle Tower. I mean, so like he had the opportunity, right?
Well, he did it earlier when.
Did he?
Before,
Okay.
Yeah,
maybe I didn't see that then.
He made a second trip all the way back there.
Oh wow! Okay.
Lovely thing.
Lovely
there.
Hera basement.
You get that 1 rupee out of Hera basement. And it's like, oh,
that's
a great time.
It's a pretty strong insult, honestly. Yeah, Iker also, mentioning this in, our tracker. Again, he doesn't miss anything. Again, like, you can talk about growing fingers, right? I'm pretty sure, it's like the eyes just keep increasing on this guy.
Was he up to 12 already?
Probably, yeah. Once he hits 216, I don't really know what's gonna happen, though. Maybe he needs to start tracking, like, doors or something. Key drop?
I'm pretty sure I've seen him do that before. But
okay.
Or at least play it.
True, that's true. Alright, looks like Will is going to try and he's just gonna clear out this dungeon. Looks like he's going to try and set up the bomb jump. A little tricky without boots. Very tricky without boots. This is why we need boots, Days.
Yeah, I think he picked something up because it looked like he got
did it
not a
like
full jump. Yeah, because I think he had it there. Had everything right. It's just the seed decided to. The game decided that sorry, you picked up an item while it was in the air, and now for you.
I see.
Yeah. Or maybe he was too low. Could have been. But anyway, when he gets back to it, he will find the mitts as Super Nintaler just grabbed that.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm more or less. I don't know if you have if there's certain expectation after he gets beat up by the Moldarms in terms of the petting zoo. But I don't necessarily know if there was an expected item of progression, but Mid certainly is a very reasonable item to find, just in terms of it opens up, a ton more options, from that one last green square that you opened up. It is, now it's going to be 50 more, and since he almost got knocked off, but good thing he didn't.
Yep, gets through it, no problem. Moldorm is exploding. Unfortunately for SNT, he's going to be sitting here, gonna go, well, there's an item in the basement. I guess I will never see that one again. And if you're rooting for him, you just kind of hope, he never goes back for it, because we know what it is. Right now, Super Bunny Cave seems like the next logical thing that we're going to be doing here.
Okay, and I guess you're up on the mountain too, right? So You know, it's not too far, but he did top in. Is this gonna be Spike Cave though instead?
What's in his bottles right now?
Oh, at least one blue potion and a red one. Okay.
He's fine then. Yeah, he's fine then. It was just kind of like, that's not quite enough health to do this, but he's guaranteeing himself another walk all the way over to get the if he wants to go over to Super Bunny Cave. Now I understand maybe not wanting to do that immediately because that's 2 items, but that's only 2 items. But Will is doing that.
Will's gonna do
right
that.
now. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see how this works out. I mean, other than this, what we have? We have like Smith Chain open. We have the Misery Mire Desert Palace area open. We can't actually go into Misery Mire. We can only get 1 item out of Desert. We
can get Mire Shed. So what is
Fog we can do Mire Shed. I mean, oh right, we can actually theoretically get into Turtle Rock if we had a medallion, which we don't at the moment.
Okay, but we do get eyes on it. Yeah.
Yeah. Ether medallion there.
So, okay, on the off chance that the Ether Medallion is actually in Super Bunny Cave, like, would you go in if you're in Will's position? You have the
3 keys, 3 keys, and the big key to Turtle Rock. Oh yeah, 100%.
All right, sounds good.
100%. I think I want to say the floating island was Quake. Yeah, I remember seeing that. So that's not the one that we can get in there.
Okay.
We're gonna take a quick look. Super Nintendo is gonna show us.
Yeah.
That was.
Yeah, it looks like actually Will's actually gonna walk over and get it. I mean, it makes a lot of sense again. You know, as you mentioned, like Mire. We don't know. We don't have eyes on Mire, and we just got mitts, so we're not gonna go get Quake right now. Where are we? We're going to Spike Cave instead. Looks like. I mean, that's the only thing left for Will, right?
Yeah. This would be a Spike Cave check here for sure. You know, I imagine the bottle situation is exactly the same on Will's side, so looks like Super Nintendo though. He's gonna make sure to go get this Quake, which at the moment with no actual way to get into Misery Mire is not a big deal for Will yet, but it could turn into quite a big deal. Depending on what shows up here in the next little bit.
Yeah, and for what it's worth, right? Like, we don't have the Mire Big Key, and the Mire Big Key, you know, because it is Green Pendant, as you mentioned earlier, it could just be sitting in GT. So, you know, could in theory basically just be more time when we're just going to, you know, be twiddling our thumbs for the game to give us something.
Yeah. Definitely. As well, we're into the Misery Mire area over on Will's screen here. Got the mirror out, so we're gonna take a second here and first hop into Mire Shed. Take a quickie look.
Yeah. As quick as Will can hold up, we're gonna get these checks.
Yep. Hey, Master Sword.
Hey.
Hey,
we got
your
the
friend.
boots. Oh, are you gonna feel bad if it's Quake here?
Yes.
Are you gonna feel help? Yes. Okay. So how bad are you going to feel in this case?
You got what do you got? You've already got 2 Misery Mire keys there. Yeah, you're gonna feel.
You have 3 Mire small keys. Yeah. How bad are you?
You're not gonna feel great. No, you're not feeling great right now. All of a sudden, you've gone from I don't need that Quake, but oh crap baskets. And
yes, lots of baskets.
Yep, baskets of crap there. So Super Nintendo are going, oh, okay, well, yeah, I got that at least. Yeah, I can't get in there yet.
That's true.
Yeah, this is fine. And then goes here and goes, oh, I can get in there now. Cool.
Oh my gosh, we have 10%. We went from bootsless like fighter sword to like Omega playableness in the span of like 2 minutes.
Yep. Now we don't have the Mire Big Key yet.
True.
We won't be able to complete the dungeon. We can get 6 of the items in there, and hilariously enough, the 6 items are in logic, even the ones on the left for once, because a lot of times,
amazing.
the ones on the left just don't get put into logic almost ever. But this time they are. But Will can't get in there.
Yeah,
now.
but on the flip side though, right? If like so, S&T most likely or not is going to go into Mire after he finishes up, the desert clear, or at least the front of desert. But then again, if like there's nothing in Mire in the front, that is potentially going to be time given back to Will if Will is somehow able to kind of avoid or come back basically with the Mire big key, right?
Right. I mean, that is one of those things. Is just being able to access a dungeon that you cannot complete is a double-edged sword because you have to, you're trying to be as efficient as possible. As I feel like I've said a couple of times at this point.
Well, we're trying real hard.
Yeah, if you go in there and it turns out that there is absolutely nothing in there that you needed, and you cleared out all 6 items and get 0 things, well, awesome, great. You just lost a whole bunch of time if your opponent comes back with like the big key and go mode.
Yeah, exactly. It also kind of like what we saw early on Will's side, right? Like he got the small key to Hera, he found the big key to Hera, and the way that he routed and everything was really efficient, and he now never has to go back to Hera, right? But we kind of saw in this case, well, even though you are efficient, if you do checks that don't lead to anything of value, and no 1 rupee is not of value to anybody, right? Like Will spent, he invested like I don't know, like at least 1 minute inside tile room itself, and then also like going to like Hylia Island, like it's extra time. Right, that if S&T doesn't have to do, then like that is his time, to keep.
See, that's the trick with this mode. It's this weird balance of trying to complete as much as possible, but at the same time not completing too much.
Yeah, that's right.
It's really difficult because if you complete everything, you will have access to everything. You don't really want to have access to everything.
Yeah, you really want a directed path. Exactly. You want a path that leads you to the items. The useful items, not just like the ones that kind of look pretty or you're just gonna like forget 5 seconds later.
Right. So first item on this left side of Misery Mire was just the compass leading to. It wasn't the Misery Mire compass though. But I'm gonna check the one behind the cutscene here, assuming that we can get this block pushed. Block puzzles, always the best thing in every game.
They are. Oh good. By the way,
power small key off of purple chest.
Can we put that back?
We can put it back. It doesn't do us a whole lot of good right now. I think Will is going. Is he going to check the lumberjack? No, he already did that.
Oh, he already checked lumberjack. Oh, we're gonna do bonk rocks into Kings. Oh, imagine remembering boost checks.
Good idea.
Yeah. Okay, so our left side Mire is just the cane of the other cane, the blue cane. So nothing of value so far in Mire. Again, as you mentioned, like nobody can control where the items are placed, and that's just like that's the feature of Randomizer. For better or for worse, sometimes it rewards you, sometimes it just makes you want to play another play a different mode, maybe.
Yeah. Basically, when it comes down to it, at some point, as skilled as every runner is, the word randomizer is in the title here. So you kind of have to know that there's a lot of times where you can make perfectly valid, well thought out decisions, and the game can just be like, screw
yeah,
you.
Exactly.
That's just what's going to happen. And Will is flying back up the mountain. I imagine we're gonna go pick up that Quake medallion right now.
That makes a lot of sense.
I probably need that.
Yeah. Although, so S&T, he got a pod small, and it seems to be the best item that we've gotten here out of Mire. I mean, again, at this point, another pod key is actually very useful. Just because 1 doesn't really get us, that far. And 2, gives a lot more latitude. I'm not sure in this case. I'm just gonna assume that S&T can sequence break out the Bullock side with a potion, if he wants to. I don't know if that's appealing enough though, because again, 1 is not logic, but also 2, like you can't really get that many items, in pot, even if you do that. So, and it's still kind of a trek to get in.
I mean, those 2 keys will get you 10 items out of pod, assuming you can potion glitch or mimic clip or something to get the 2 on the right side there. But right now I'm kind of looking around and I'm like, well, things we can do. Hey, we did get that Swamp Palace small key off the library.
We did.
You want to do some hookless swamp?
So can we specky clip without the hookshot days? Because I really only want to see specky clip here.
But we can do hookless swamp.
Oh yes, that is so much more appealing.
But we can
Days.
do hookless swamp. It's hookless swamp.
That's what everyone is thinking. Just jumping into to do hookless swamp. That is, the top priority for things that they want to do for the seed.
I mean, we're talking about being efficient. Let's do one of the least efficient checks possible.
Yeah.
Well,
you could be more efficient if you just guess the correct chest, when you do hookless swamp on left side. Like if if the hookshot happens to be over there, just do the one with the hookshot, right?
Yeah,
then you don't have to do, then that'll make your left side, dip more efficient. Mm-hmm.
That is the true gamer player right there. If you can pull that off there, at that point, you've just won the seed and
yeah, exactly.
Everybody forfeits for the That's just anytime you enter a race, you win. Congratulations, you won the next spring tournament.
It's yeah, that's right. It's the new gamble game. Left side
Statues
swamp.
built in your honor.
I can't wait, actually.
Yeah,
All right, where's SNT going, by the way? Is this Smith Chain, maybe?
Yeah, it's got to be Smith Chain.
Okay.
I mean, I understand that going to pod without having with only having kind of two keys there, it's like I said, you can get 10, but you also are going to leave a lot, and you're trying to only make one trip over there. It's yeah.
Yeah, and I also don't know how what people's kind of risk analysis or desire to how many times you're willing to, I guess, go back to pod. I mean, 2 might seem maybe the accepted level of I guess, I don't know, inefficiency or whatever, the risk you're willing to take, but I don't know. But as you said, right, you may need to go back maybe a second, third time, so maybe you can try to hold off a bit, right? And you can get maybe that third pod key, maybe you get a bow.
Now, look,
something that kind of helps you, right? Yeah.
If you really, really want to, you can go around multiple times, which I kind of feel like in this mode, I've seen a little bit more often than you would in, say, cross keys or something like that. Because
oh, really?
Yeah, because sometimes you're over there and the game is just giving you a single key, so you're like, well, okay, let me just get these first couple of chests, and then that single key opens up something else, which opens up the next 3 pod keys, and then all of a sudden in the back.
Oh yeah, that's true.
There's just everything. So you can turn that single key into being able to check 10 items.
That sounds pretty efficient, all things considered. Turning 1 key into 3 keys, or more than 10 items.
It's just going around going around that east side there, through the portals multiple times, through the mimics multiple times.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that sounds a lot less appealing.
It's not as great as you think, but sometimes it can be the best play.
Mm-hmm.
It's
hard. Yeah, and then also I guess for especially on even on Will's, I guess maybe soon to be SNT side, if he follows through, basically does the completion of Smith Chain, he's going to get his first Castle Tower small key, in purple chest, and as you did mention again, that check is very, very isolated for both Will and SNT. Again, we can wait for Pyramid Fairy. However, looking at the tracker that Iker has very generously kept up to date for us, we're still missing a good number of things, to basically, get that Pyramid Fairy check. Where's this Fire Rod?
The pod.
Pod? Do you think it's a second Castle Tower? Because that would make me really sad.
hey! It's a hookless swamp.
It is a hookless swamp. Oh my gosh! All right, S&T. Let's see what potential hookless swamp has. Surely this will only go well.
I mean, unless he's just magically got the hook shot there in that time that he was frozen, but I don't think he did. But I mean,
I don't think so either.
I honestly don't hate this play.
No, I mean, no, I mean, again, he's trying to be efficient, right? Like he walked the purple chest all the way down, right? And you are at the locksmith guy in the light world. Hop back in your portal. I mean, where else are you gonna go, right? When you're in dark world.
Yeah, I mean the thing is that
Apparently Will is going to pod, but yes, continue.
yeah, the thing is that Will is likely making we'll just call it the correct play.
In terms of density, you mean?
Well, yeah, I mean these are here. They're he's going to be able to get quite a few chests and stuff. There's a decent chance that you could fish out the hook shot here, and then at that point, Super Nintendo looks a little worse. But the other thing with Super Nintendo is that earlier in the seed, he was really late in getting to that mirror, which meant that he got into the dark world. I want to say a full 10 minutes-ish behind.
It was definitely a good number of I don't know if it was more fingers that I had, but yes, it was certainly a non-trivial number of minutes. Correct.
Yeah. So in his case, making this play, sure. I mean, what do you got to lose here? You're gonna get another pod key.
Yeah, that's actually really nice. Mm-hmm. Oh right, S&T got so excited about the pod key. He's like, oh wait, I don't have the hook shot.
I mean, I kind of think there's a very unfortunate chance here. I think what is likely to happen on S&T's side here is that he's going to get the 4th pod key, and then go, oh great, well yeah, okay, and at that point it just becomes inevitable where the next progression is. But could be wrong. I don't know. I mean, we're not. Not a mind reader here.
Yeah. And we also don't know where the items are. Yeah, I mean, we don't exactly. Like, we don't know if we can hear find and pod. Took a peek at the shooter room though on Will's side. It was a bottle with a red potion. So this is definitely bow locked. Oh my gosh. Where's this bow? Dazed?
Well, it's got to be somewhere. There's at least one before GT. Because
okay, that's good.
Got that.
That's encouraging. We know it's not in Eastern because we already found the Eastern big key there. We know it's not in Meyer because we just found the Meyer big key and we've already cleared out all of that dungeon.
Now,
ice. Where's the fire rod?
Well, also not here yet. Okay, so
yeah,
Will
that's true. There are two bows, right? Yeah.
There are 2 bows. Chances are we'll run into.
I'm sorry. Yeah, chances are S&T will literally just run into the bow on left side hookless swamp days.
So when we were kind of, you know what? Actually,
you were definitely not memeing, right?
Great for S&T, and then I was like, wait a minute. No, that's still not great for S&T because Will just got the thing that bow unlocked.
Yeah, that's
yeah. So, I mean, S&T now's got to go to here. Maybe with his 3rd pod key, he'll gamble on one of the 50/50s coming into either Harmless Elway or the pod big key chest there, and he'll hit a jackpot there, and everything will be roses and choirs. But
sunshine and lollipops in the dark
yeah,
world.
sunshine, lollipops, ice cream, and every other
fun thing that you can except the Harris Smokey. He doesn't want that. Wasn't that the situation you were talking about earlier? That is a very rude timing in order to get a small key to a dungeon or a check, that you've already completed.
Yep, I mean that it's inevitable at some point here. As Super Nintendo is basically down to pod and pod alone. Because Will at this point is gonna go ahead and see what's in the big chest, and then go kill Vidi here with a tempered sword and with a cape.
Yeah, this should be pretty manageable, right?
Yeah, he can get fancy with it and go NMG style here and try to spin the eyes and really quickly do it but if he's feeling even the slightest bit nervous about the fight, he puts on the cape, hits the button until everything's dead.
Yeah, I think it sounds great. And and I don't think phase 2 will take
that much longer. I mean, he is okay. So I mean, the more commonly seen kill for phase 2, right, is 8 arrow shots. I guess for what it's worth, like S&T, when he comes back to Meyer with that Meyer Bicky, he will have the bow because that's probably one of the reasons why he's going to pod now. So he'll actually have more conventional Vitreous fight. However, we're here in the Invitational League, right? We'll, again, a little bit of unconvention, some creativity, for him to be able to take on Vitreous, is definitely welcome.
Yeah, we'll have to see exactly which way he chooses here. This is part of the fun here. The game at the least was nice enough to reward our runners with a with a tempered sword. We're going back into Eastern before pod because yes.
I forgot. Yes, we actually can't clear out Eastern.
Thank you for that little update there.
That makes a lot of sense.
Was because no idea. Didn't pop in on our screen before that.
Yeah, I mean, the bow. All of us are so fixated on the Meyer Bicky bowing and the Bowlock set of pod. But yeah, we definitely have another crystal dungeon that we can get on S&T side. I think he's remembering the goals of defeat Ganon and that he needs to open up GT and get crystals for that goal. Yep.
Makes sense to me here. If he had gone to if he had gone to pod, he could have gotten the Meyer Big Key and then gotten the green pendant off of Vitreous here. It looks like Will had decided on pressing the button until they're dead strategy.
I do enjoy it when buttons are pressed to kill bosses.
That is the name of the game.
Yeah, alright, well, very well done on Will's side. As you said, with the cape, makes things a lot smoother. Just keep pressing B, and yeah, we got a green pendant on Will's side. We've got a crystal on S&T side. Again, crystals and pendants won't necessarily have equal value, but you certainly need all of them, right? You need the 3 pendants to pull the pedestal to get GT Big Key off a pen, and you need all 7 crystals to open up GT. So.
Yep, and we didn't get anything off of Vitreous.
So it was, I think, 3 bombs or something in the big chest of Meyer, and yeah, it was 20 rupees on both the boss drops, so nothing very useful.
Yeah, so green pendant is our answer? That's after all of this, after an hour and 10 minutes here, and basically 2 dungeons completed on either side, we're getting funneled to the green pendant. And we're getting funneled into Turtle.
We're going back up the mountain. I think Will, might have like a frequent flyers walking something, club for Death Mountain. I think he probably has been there one too many times, or many times that he would like to have gone to at least.
I'm starting to wonder how both runners are feeling here with this, because like Will is going to. Well, I'm going to say avoid the dip into Hookless Swamp here at the moment. If a hook shot appears in Turtle Rock or something like that, he's avoiding it for now because right now we know that those bows don't lock anything.
Yeah,
so
that's certainly true.
Yeah, you would kind of assume. Well, okay, the bows don't lock anything that you just can't break.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah.
But so you're kind of thinking that Will's probably not going to have to deal with a Hookless Swamp at all this seed, because at some point the hook shot will show up before he needs to go get it.
Would you check the first chest of Hookshot Cave here before going in?
He already has. So yeah, he got that earlier when he had to come back up for Quake.
Right. I totally forgot about that fact that we already checked Fire Shed on Will's side. Okay, all right.
But I'm kind of wondering how both of these runners right now are feeling, because like some of these seeds at about the hour and 10 mark, you're basically in go mode. You're like an item away from go mode. You're just going from dungeon to dungeon to dungeon. You're completing this, completing that, completing this, completing that. Everything's good. This is not one of those seeds.
Yeah, this seed really seems to kind of be stringing us along here, and not even like the good. We don't even have good like treats or baits or anything like that. Like this is just. Oh my gosh.
Oh no, this seed is drip feeding us here. We are we have the ability to go all the way to Laser Bridge, but we can't complete the dungeon. We don't have, like, Laser Bridge is 3 keys in logic here, so we can go all the way to do that. And yeah, kind of funny there. You can see it in chat. Someone saying, "Hey, the seed I saw yesterday was GT big key on PED." Kind of funny about that. That's every seed this week.
at least for League. There could be, you know, other tournaments going on, but yes, like for League, that is definitely the case.
Yeah.
Yeah, as part of, in this case, yeah, it's actually, yeah, so it's called AAD keys. So almost all dungeons, key sanity. So the intention is it's supposed to be kind of 80 keys, but try to mitigate some of the tediousness of trying to find those 2 Castle Tower small keys, and then also, you know, you have to climb, well, Castle Tower and defeat Aga. You know, it's kind of like another like 5 minutes worth of, you know, content that, well, you know, no, it doesn't have to do. So this case, the way to try and mitigate it is that you still have to do all 7 crystals, open up GT, and the goal is to defeat Ganon. Except now that the GT big key is always on pedestal, so you have to do all the pendants as well.
Yep. It is, we are forcing it by the most just obvious ways possible. Now, that GT big key on pedestal can still cause massive amounts of problems.
No, for sure.
You get all 7 crystals before you can get all 3 pendants.
Yeah, in fact, like, do we even know what our other pendants are?
We have no idea, no.
Okay. Hey, oh my god! Go. Did you see? Will found the other bow in Mimic Cave.
So that's a non-zero chance that Will never get silvers now. Is it possible for pendant progression to be in GT? It is extremely possible. Now
to the point where we may not like it.
Yeah, to the point where you can have to get all 7 crystals, enter GT, clear out GT basement, looking for your progression for your last pendant, leave GT, go back down the mountain.
Yeah, we need one of those like stamps, right?
Yeah, beat whatever pendant you have, go pull the pedestal, and then go back up GT and climb. It can be borderline infuriating if you're playing, and you caught the wrong seed.
I just want like my frequent, you know, flute flyer miles, you know, for how many times I've had to go up to, you know, to the mountain. This isn't even inverted flute either.
Come on, flute spot 9. Give me flute spot 9. Into the dark world in front of GT.
Perfect. Okay, we did pick up half magic for what it's worth. It's kind of a nice, you know, I guess nice luxury item. I don't necessarily know if Will really cares too much about it now, as with S&T when he eventually gets there. But you know, again, you can't complain too much.
Right.
Is this the pod big?
Of keys,
okay.
There's a key to Desert Palace
and a big key. To pod. Wow. Yeah. All right.
Oh, can't go for 4 big keys.
No, I guess not. Oh, hey, look, there's the 4th Turtle Rock. Are you going back to check Vanilla Biggie Chest, Will? Or Will Dazed? Will certainly looks like he is.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, looks like it.
Does he have
no, maybe not.
Try next.
Oh no.
Or did he? Oh, he must have just skipped the I see what he did. He skipped the pokey key. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. I was about to say, I was like, wait, his key numbers don't make sense at the moment. And then that's because this guy's still alive. Got it.
Okay, yes. Okay, well, that's a very interesting. So I think like the way that, you know, Will has. Oh no, does he have a fairy?
No, but he did just come in at the.
Okay, maybe that's not so bad then. Okay.
So I mean, probably not a moment that he's particularly pleased with himself about, but yeah, he'll be all right there. It's some time lost, but not that bad.
Yeah. I mean, you know, again, like these things does happen. You know, I'm just hoping in this case, like the compounding effect. You know, you're kind of wondering about maybe how these rooms are kind of feeling. I don't think, you know, my guess at this point is that maybe just not picking the Quake Medallion was somewhat of an oversight, right? Because he was on Dark Death Mountain the first time, right? And then, you know, he did get a little punished, right? Because it happened to be Quake to get into Mire, and then Mire turned out to be kind of empty other than that pot key. So, you know, but he had to make an extra trip to go back. And then here it was certainly an unforced death. Trying to fight the Pokey and all at the same time trying to powder the anti-fairy in order to get his health back.
Yeah, too many buttons were being pressed at.
We could only want we only want all the buttons to be pressed at Vitreous with the cape on.
And well, at this point though, we did get to Lava Chest there on Will's side. Eventually, got the Desert Palace small key here. So now, because when we got the Desert Palace big key, it was like, well, that only really puts one thing in logic. Now that we have the Desert Palace big key, that puts all of Desert.
So, yes, that's true. Yeah.
Will not really having many other choices here is, well, I'm going to Desert.
Yeah, I'm still just somewhat astounded, by the fact that we still don't have a way into Ice Palace. Like, we have no Bombos, we have no Fire Rod. Like, where's this Fire Rod, right? We can't. I mean, there are two items left in Turtle Rock after this, right? That we can't get to in Roller Room because we have no Fire Rod.
And yeah, we'll have to see exactly here. Is this gonna be hook shot or is this gonna be Fire Rod?
Yeah, so that's
in my head right now.
Or
there's not much. Deep's Down big key doesn't make sense just because we don't have the small key. I mean, it's all right. That's a heart piece, and all right. So this is gonna be what are we gonna be here?
Oh, hey, look, it's a Fire Rod, and it only was locked by four. Did he save his portal?
No, he didn't even have a portal. Didn't he save and quit out of Lava Chest right now?
You are correct. Yes, he did save and quit out of Lava Chest. Yes.
I mean, understandably, you would do that, but like, it's a big if he had saved saved a portal there outside of Spike Cave or something, he would not have to run back through the entire dungeon to go kill Trinex.
Yeah,
But now he kind of has to, because keys.
Yeah, because did you say something like 50 minutes ago about how keys are jerks? I believe you. Yes, I believe you. We have ample evidence.
Oh, nope, yep, and I'm being corrected there in chat by someone very knowledgeable about the game that, yeah, he did use the mirror portal to actually get into Desert Palace, which, never mind everything that I said, this was forced, so thank you, game.
I do 100% agree with you that the lane is incredibly knowledgeable.
Yeah, the lane might have some idea what's going on here. I do think magic is a valid response to getting back into Turtle Rock at this point. There, as hey,
so are you? Oh, we did. Okay, so it looks like I could actually mark Swamp as. Oh, that's right. I think we knew Swamp was a pendant. At some point when S&T went in, it was marked as a. We saw the P in the upper left hand corner. Okay, so we have collective knowledge. It's like Will hasn't been there, and I don't think either of them have done a map check. So.
No.
I don't think Will knows that it is a. That Swamp Palace is a pendant. I mean, again, not that probably you care too much because you already know it's a pet seed. You know you have to go pull GT Big Key off of pedestal. Maybe he's just kind of hoping that he's got stuff to do now, right? In terms of dungeon completion, and so maybe if he stumbles upon the third pendant before he goes to Skullwoods, even better, right? He doesn't necessarily worry anymore.
Oh yeah. I just realized something very bad for Super Nintaler. I was wondering what he was doing exactly there, but then as Ikir is pointing out there, our tracker is pointing out in chat, he is missing the Turtle Rock big key, and I don't know where that was. Where was that? Where was that? Why does that feel like that was early? Was that on like
Skullwoods?
Skullwoods.
Oh, you were absolutely correct. Well, okay, for what it's worth, it looks like maybe S&T is gonna. Well, okay, we'll see in this case if he wants to try and save his portal. He is not because it is, and it's in a place that we can't get to from the light worlds. So
Yeah, that's
okay, so
rough
it's not
here.
it's not the greatest, but it looks like it's pretty even. In terms of both
Oh!
Will and S&T have to go
What?
back to the Turtle Rock. What?
Oh no. Okay. Super NT. God. This is. I can't imagine this will work out for him. But he's about to get his fire rod.
I know, but so he'll go to Skull Woods, right? Like certainly you're gonna do that before going back up the mountain,
That's the thing,
try
yeah.
and. But what? That's the thing.
At some point, though, he'll have to go back to Turtle Rock. He'll be able to complete Turtle Rock, but he won't know it because his fourth key is on Laser Bridge.
Oh, I see what you mean.
So it was kind of like, oh, this will work out for him. Wait, no, that key's on Laser Bridge. This probably. Oh my God, when do you go back at this point? Like, ugh, gross.
That is actually pretty bad. I am starting to see the darkness. that is on the side.
You know the other that when you say you're starting to see the darkness on this here, I'm realizing that Swamp Palace is our last pendant, right?
Yeah. Oh, you think the hookshot's just in GT somewhere?
Yeah, I'm starting to think the hookshot's in GT.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah,
It
I'm
hasn't
starting to
shown
think
up
the
yet,
hookshot's in
so
it hasn't shown up yet.
we have so many pod keys now. So I mean, I assume Will's gonna go back. So okay, for what we have not seen all of the rest of the checks in pod. Haven't seen, I don't think, Vanilla Big Key Chaz, Harmless Hellway. We didn't see Helma itself. But yeah, that hook shot though certainly does not look promising to be not on the mountain.
Is Will? Oh no, 7 out of 8. Okay, I was about to say, I was like, is Will skipping the?
Surely he won't do that 2 weeks in a row, right?
Yeah, no. I was about to like reach through the screen and like grab him and shake him there and be like, no, don't do that.
Yeah. I mean, but for what it's worth, he is certainly not the first rando runner, let alone even the first pink link that has been, figuratively burned by not checking Ice-T in Ice Palace.
Yeah, of course. No, I mean, I like it's a very reasonable skip to make, and in his seed last week, it was a perfectly reasonable skip, and it made actually quite a lot of sense. And then, of course, the fire rod was there, and that's kind of like lost as that was an aggressive hand by on Super Min Taylor's side. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Okay. So the good news is that Colster is dead. Half magic certainly does seem to help a little bit on Will's side. S&T, I don't think we would necessarily complain about half magic at this point because we are on an empty magic bar. However, he's got a tempered sword. He's got some boots. He should be fine. It never hurts, by the way, to have like one fire rod shot, right? Just in case Moth decides to, not play nice.
Yeah. I mean, with this tempered sword, though, I mean, he's going to set up for the poke here. Hopefully you got 2 there, maybe probably only got. Oh no!
Look at that! Real nice fight there on S&T side. S&T, I think, in one of his, I can't remember which tournament now, maybe main tournament. He had probably like the most amazing moth fight I had ever seen. He was like, I don't know how he survived, but he somehow managed to do that. I mean, it was a ridiculously good fight. So really good to see in this case that it's still stuck with him.
Yep. Yeah, no, definitely. All right, so for Will, we're gonna go back into pod. We have 4 keys. We're gonna
we're gonna I don't know if I like the sound of that, Days.
Yeah, it's just kind of this here.
Did we find anything else on the way to Skull Woods?
The Turtle Rock thing?
In the back. Oh, sorry, in the back, I meant.
Oh, in the back? No, I think
okay.
there. I wasn't really paying attention there. But,
I mean, it's all good. I mean, well, the important part is that S&T is actually here in Skull Woods. I think he just has a moral victory of winning just because, he was able to single dip Skull Woods, which is, what we actually really all care about here.
Pretty much, yeah, pretty much. I
Mhm.
mean, it is the good thing. I mean, he's got the even got the. I don't know. I think that's the big key, or is that just a fancy look? My screen's a little small.
He definitely
So,
does
yeah.
have the big key to Skullwoods. Where that was in somewhere. I know for sure he has it because I remember seeing it popping up on the screen. So he should be able to take out everything basically in Skullwoods. Maybe Swamp.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't. Yeah, see what exactly everybody chooses here in a few minutes.
Yeah.
Because,
Oh, just picked him up. Okay, see, Iker. See, this is why we have Iker. Imagine actually looking at what's happening on the screens and try to remember things.
I am trying not to pay
Oh.
attention to chat right now, but
I know.
there's
It
lots
can
of
be very
silly funness
distraction.
going on in chat, and I'm kind of like, you know
How
what,
dare
this
they
game is
try
being-
and distract from the action, and then trying to bring on some entertainment for us.
I would legitimately say right now, chat is a little bit more fun than the seed has been.
Yes, certainly from Will and S&T's perspective, I can almost guarantee you that.
You know, it's been a bit of a time here as just kind of.
It has certainly been quite the adventure. I think you kind of called it earlier. Like in this mode, a lot of AD keys or variants of you really try to want to be as efficient as you can, but sometimes the game doesn't like you, right? We kind of S&C, right? Where was Desert Palace small key? Locked behind 4 Turtle Rock small keys in vanilla big key chest. And then of course, we can't even and we don't have the book. Like, I mean, maybe the book is just out there somewhere. Maybe it's in the first chest of second chest of Castle Tower, right? We don't know, right? But I mean, like, that looked like that was going to be our only Desert Palace entry access, via the mirror. And so as you said, we have to go back, right, and check it. So
I mean, and that's kind of the thing there. I mean, I know I was joking there before the seed that the book was going to be at the top of GT, and at this point here, I'm actually.
Yeah, Days. How dare you say that?
You might have been right, and I'm sorry. I apologize to Will and Super Ninja Taylor for my cracks here, and but yeah. Anyway, Will's on the helmet here. He's gonna be leaving the Harmless Hallway chest there
okay.
by himself, and we'll see how it is. If you're rooting for Super Ninja Taylor right now, I mean, he's definitely behind Will considerably, thanks to kind of just some unfortunate placement of items and timing of collecting them. We're asking in chat, are we in go mode? Absolutely not. Nowhere near, unfortunately. Well, I mean, getting closer, I suppose. We need Thieves Town Big Key, and we need a hook shot still, but man.
Yeah, we're getting there. That's a great way of putting it. It's kind of like, you're on a long road trip, and then, people are just in the back saying, like, are we there yet? Are we there yet? And if you're the driver, the answer is soon. But you never actually give an answer because you don't actually know how far you are.
Yeah, we're of this thing, like, typically, like I was kind of saying before we even started this, like a good time for one of these seeds is around 140. Around 140, you're usually pretty happy there. Now, you could, if you get a little bit better, or if your execution is excellent, like these two teammates race there, like you mentioned, who had times in the 130s there. You can do that, but you could also have this. This is what happens if the seed decides, I do not like you.
Yes. This is not a seed that you would want to roll for yourself.
Yeah, no. If you pulled this seed by yourself, what you would have done by now is at around the hour mark, you would have gone, you know what? That's enough rando for today.
Yeah. It kind of makes you. I mean, maybe that's one of the benefits of racing and acing. As you said, right? Like, you start an acing, and then if you don't like the seed, no real harm in basically stopping and maybe trying another seed, maybe doing something else. In a race, well, that's not really an option. Oh no, Will.
Will pulling my my Igor room strat there of just shooting it right over his shoulder there because my aim is immaculate. Oh man, we're just having bow issues unfortunately on his side there.
You think it's gonna? Well, you know what? No, this is all good practice. You know, for when
Yep.
he goes and backs and beats Slanmo again, he'll have all of the bow practice he needs, even despite the fact he's already defeated Slanmos.
Yeah, no, definitely. I can see the Super Nintaler there kicking into I must go extremely fast mode there with a very nice block push there in Ice Palace. Just flew through this dungeon here. I think at this point it's just I am tired of this game and I wish to stop playing here, so I'm going to finish as quickly as possible.
Yeah. I mean, certainly, like, as you said, right? Like, not having basically the Turtle Rock big key, you know, when he was first up in Turtle Rock, certainly was unfortunate, like a setback for him. You know, he missed out on a good number of big keys as well, like, you know, Desert Big Key, and Pod Big Key were all kind of like up there in Laser Bridge. And probably the more concerning part is, you know, you did mention, again, this is kind of the ominous dark cloud as opposed to the happy shiny cloud, you know, that is here sitting in the commentary booth, is that the 4th Turtle Rock key is on Laser Bridge, and S&T has already opened up no biggie chest. So when is he gonna go back to Turtle Rock and go on the way to Laser Bridge? Like, do you really want to go up there, like, on the chance, you know, like, basically only for Laser Bridge at this point? You know, like, because, you know, you can't get to try next, or, you know, quote unquote?
So here's what scares me, Claire Mouse, is since we have all of the eyes here and we know exactly where, basically what's left, right? For both of these runners, they don't have a choice. Oh no, you don't want to do this, there, Super Nintendo. You want to go back to the mountain. Yeah, you don't want to do what you're about to do there because he's about to go back to the oh, this is also bad.
Oh, this is first chest of Castle Tower, right? Does he have?
Second
Oh no, yeah,
Castle
second
Tower.
chest of Castle Tower. Right. Yeah. Yes, I meant the last chest in Castle Tower. I should just say something like this.
So what I was gonna say there before I got distracted by that was the thing that I'm kind of worried about for Super Nintaler here is that it looks like he's going to be forced back up the mountain here to go finish Turtle Rock. Now there's 3 chests remaining in Turtle Rock that we don't know yet, and at this point, I think one of them has to be the Thieves Town Big Key. If the Thieves Town Big Key is in one of those first 2 chests, I don't know if he goes all the way to the back.
What about Hookshot?
I mean, if it's Hookshot, yeah, you probably leave regardless at that point. I don't. This seed we're an hour and a half in. Well, the runners, by the way, because this is hell for them.
Yeah, I'm not sure. You know, okay, the saving grace is that they did find boots at like the 51-minute mark, so you know maybe it's slightly faster health.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. It's they are moving at a slightly faster speed here, so I mean, you know, what else you gonna get? Okay, good. Super Nintaler making his way up the mountain. Cool. Good. So he's not.
Yeah, that's certainly a good sign. This could be Hera basement though, for what it's worth. I think he, you know, yes, I do see his.
Show me this direction. Hey, gonna get that 1 rupee.
Yeah. I mean, this again, this is very reasonable for him, right? Like he's gonna go. Yeah, we have no hook shot, so we can't even hook over to Dark Death Mountain, Light Death Mountain, whatever. This is on the way for him, and it just happens to be an extremely inefficient. Well, it's just a very long time consuming check, right? I mean, we know on Will's side that you know he's also done it, so it's gonna be a wash for them. But it's you know as you just say, right? Like S&T probably this is time that S&T can't really afford to give Will at this point.
Very, very surprised at what Will's doing right now. He's got a completable Turtle Rock, and we're going Hookless Swamp.
What if the hookshot is just here? Maybe. Well, no, because
we saw it. We saw it on Super Nintaler's side. We know that he's going to get silver arrows.
True.
But
I'm wondering if Will thinks that. So if he finds the hookshot in Swamp, which we know that it's not there, but if he can find it, then he can pull pedestal, I guess, and then maybe go to. But we're still missing Thieves Town Big, right? I'm just wondering if he wants to try and like.
I feel like that's what he's looking for right now. I feel like what he's looking for right now is the Thieves Town Big. So he's doing this, and
yeah, maybe hopes that he doesn't want to climb the mountain again.
You know what the worst part is? I think he gets another pod key in here.
Oh, yeah. Oh no.
Yeah,
that's how big is that?
Oh
my gosh, that check though is pretty painful.
I want to go home.
Aren't you home already? I hope you're home.
No, I'm at work.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, you should go home, Days.
Oh no, I get to work after this, so you know, I get a nice brain-frying rando seed to commentate. Now, luckily, I'm the one talking and not the one playing right now. I think.
Yeah. I'm not sure what kind of mood you would be in after you've had to play the seed. That is very true. By the way, still no hookshot means that we still can't specky clip on Will's side either. I'm pretty disappointed, honestly. You know, it's like, if the seed was going to basically just string our runners along and just have them do, you know, like 15 trips up the mountain, at least give us some fun, you know, every once in a while to do. Oh my gosh, are we actually gonna check? Yes, what is here?
I was referring to a thing happening. Currently the thing happening is the thing that happens to everyone when they come into hookshotless
yes.
areas.
This is the coffee break version of Turtle Rock. You take your break while you go around these conveyor belts.
That moment where you go, I pressed up instead of down. All right, whoops. And well,
okay,
around.
We did it.
Okay. These are big chests. What do they have? Big key to Thieves Town. Small key to Skull Woods.
Are you leaving?
What are you gonna do, Superman Taylor?
We're leaving.
I thought so. I thought so.
Yeah.
All right, so to Thieves Town now. We do have the small key. I had to double check that. I was like, do we have the small key? We have the small key.
We do.
Sure enough, gonna go beat Thieves Town. Now, at this point, the good news is we will 100% determine if the hookshot is in GT.
We have checked everywhere, correct?
Pyramid Fairy is the other one, was Swamp.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Pyramid Fairy is available. Super Nin Taylor did not finish Turtle Rock there because, unfortunately for him, he has
a very bad
to find another Turtle Rock key to finish the dungeon. But of course, the game's full of jokes, and it's on the very last chest of Laser Bridge.
Yeah. Like, I mean, he doesn't know that it's not bring your own small key to the back of Turtle Rock. Yes. So it is really unfortunate.
Honestly, he's making the best decision that he can.
For sure, right? Yeah, I mean, from his perspective, like, suddenly, you know, Thieves Town in the back, right, there are 4 items available for him. He's got the small key, right, he just found the big key, so he can actually check the big chest and get another crystal out of this, right? I mean, it certainly makes a lot of sense that the Turtle Rock small key can just be, you know, hiding somewhere here.
I'm seeing chat trying to come up with complicated situations of places for the hookshot to be, and I'm just kind of like, you know, look, the seed already beat you today, chat. I don't think you can come up with anything worse than the seed it's already done, so, you know, good luck. Good on you. Good effort.
Yeah. You know, of course, you know, the game. Oh my gosh. What's this? Oh, all right. Yeah. I guess how many more? You know what? We already got the mushroom. We already got the powder. So this is going to be at least the last delayed value shack that we at least are going to stumble upon.
To be fair, the shovel's not the worst thing to find there. I mean, it's just one of those things that he's probably going to be like, well, now I'm checking that after finishing this, so. All right, Will is going to go, and he will actually finish Turtle Rock. He'll make the climb all the way down there, because I cannot think he'll actually... I do not think he'll have any reason to not go down there. Hi, Dead Rock. Let's just
this
right
mountain. I feel like is there like a punishment for coming up the mountain for too many times? Because I feel like like sometimes you get like a free mountain trip, right? Like a buy 10 get one free type of deal. I feel like Will is just getting more punished, and that's not what we want to see at this point.
I can't say either guy is being more punished in the seed. The seed is just it's been punishing, and we're all the way through with Steve's down on Super Taylor's side.
Yeah, I mean, so yeah, we did get the shovel, and he is gonna get a crystal out of this. We don't know what Blind's gonna drop, but other than that, yeah, we're there's this outstanding hook shot, and yeah, don't worry about crossing the Moldrum 2 gap. We are really looking forward to actually beat Swamp Palace. So the good news is that the hook shot cannot be upstairs.
So I guess that is the nicest thing I can say about this mode. Is this mode there is 100% no complaining about my opponent hovered the Moldorm 2 gap, because if your opponent did that, he was styling on you, and you've got to take that up with him.
Yep. Yeah, that's not a C thing anymore.
All right, Will has everything he needs to get into GT. Super Taylor, are you gonna go check that shovel for us?
Looks like the answer is yes. As soon as we get there. I mean, I don't know if you would be running over here to do anything else.
Yeah, I was just trying to think there. He had his hammer out. I'm like going, I thought we had done hammer pegs, but I don't quite remember at this point.
Yeah.
We've seen many things.
Yeah, we've seen many things, I think, more than once. Between Will and S&T, I don't know if there are. There are probably just a handful of checks that, one has done over the other. It is not yet.
I was so tempted to break out the Blade Runner speech there at the end. But yeah, it's that hook shot's in GT, Clearmouth. Or it's on Terranigma. It's on Terranigma. It could be on Terranigma.
That is true.
It's roughly the same, right? You still gotta climb them
pretty much. Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, S&T, I don't think he has anything left to do. I mean, I don't know if he doesn't use a map tracker or anything like that, but I mean, I don't think he has any other locations left. And yeah, again, no hook shot means that you have to take the long way up the mountain many times.
Actually, you know what? I'm trying to think about it here. Did we see Castle Tower 2? We did see Castle Tower 2. We did,
yeah. It was a bottle with a bee in it.
The bottle with a bee in it. Shout outs to that. Awesome. Best item.
It is.
I'm looking at the small key situation for Pod right now.
Oh yeah, we have Harmless Hallway left. I think,
and
right? We have 6.
Key on Laser Bridge? Is there a key on Laser Bridge?
There was. Wait, was there?
Is there a key on Laser?
I don't think
the book
so.
Off of Trinex?
I don't want to go check these days. We're like hour 45 in, and we're just I would really like to have just one more item.
We're either gonna get the hook shot or we're gonna get the book here. Like.
I see S&T you know what? Who needs pots, really? He has demonstrated that he will have 0 issues getting over that Moldrum 2 gap. But I think at this point we know, at least like from Will's side, that it looks like S&T is also going to be in hookshot go mode. So I'm not sure if this is going to be any value, unless of course, as you said, well, no, these chests can't have anything, right?
No.
Yeah.
These chests can't have anything here. There's the hook shot.
Oh,
so
there is the hook shot.
Okay, back down the mountain. Let's go finish Swamp Palace. There is no reason to open anything because they're guaranteed there's 2 small keys in there out of the 4 chests in the back. And then we have to come back and climb the mountain again.
Oh, S&T was doing hookshot because he doesn't have the Turtle Rock 4 that's on Laser Bridge. So I bet he was looking for it, right? And he doesn't know what the hookshot. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. by the
for
way,
him,
he did.
everything's been
Yeah.
making sense.
Yeah. Oh, but by the way, like we saw, so he picked up the desert map in Hookshot Cave. So in this mode, non-entrance keys, map and compass actually has logical implications that you're supposed to find them before the before beating the boss. And like, I mean, just imagine, right? If you were following logic, you were supposed to do desert after this. Great. No, thank you. Considering we were already complaining about getting the fire rod, right, out of desert, right?
Right. I mean, I can't imagine that any of the that either of the runners today probably were. The only reason I was able to piece together that wait a minute, Trinex has like either book or hook there was because I'm sitting here like on this side of it. I don't imagine running through the seed right now that you would be able to like parse that together because you're an hour and 40 plus minutes into this and it's been just
yeah, no, it's been so much like back and forth, right? It's like, oh, I have to make another. I mean, you know, and I like every single mountain trip, you know, it adds the tedium for sure. But you know, again, you know, after like the 10th or 15th time or whatever, yeah, like you start to, you know, things start to blur, right? And you know, and as you said, you're kind of just wondering at this point, like, can I, you know, when is the dot done coming from my opponent? Like, can I,
Please,
you know, maybe, you know, yeah, do something else.
I really want this to be over, please. Yeah, I mean everybody has played enough rando. Most people have played enough rando here in the Invitational League to know that every once in a while, seeing your opponent has finished is a relief more than anything. So.
Yeah, and as you said before, like I mean, the variance for apparently like AD keys certainly has been quite high. You know, you know, there's been some really nice seeds. You know, you can finish basically, you know, like as you said, hour 40, hour 50. Maybe, you know, relatively pleasant times. You know, the logic chain isn't, you know, too bad. Quote unquote linear progression paths, right? You go to one dungeon, you can go to basically you get all the stuff for the next dungeon. You can kind of just go single dip things, looks great, and then you got something like this, right? Where not even logically, right? Like they're just double dips that are just hard required. I don't know about triple dips, but all of these trips up the mountain certainly really add to the frustration.
Yeah, totally. I mean, for Will here, he's got just a substantial lead at this point. Considering, you know, really, he's generally routed this, I would say, fairly decently, considering how awful it's been. He's still gonna finish probably around like an hour 55, 57, depending on how fast his GT climb is and stuff like that. Like, because he's got to, now that he's completed all of the pendants, we got to go pull that pedestal. And so we got a flute over here. We got to run to the back of Skull Woods. He's got to beat Thieves Town. No, oh no, I take this back. I forgot that we hadn't beaten Thieves Town yet on Will's side. He's going to be above 2. Yeah, no, I thought we were done.
Yeah. Unfortunately, like, well, we definitely hit go. Well, we hit mostly go. We know about the hook shot on Trinex, but you know, I mean, it also kind of just showcases like how long it takes to get to Trinex from Roller Room, because I mean, these guys went through Turtle Rock, right, like multiple times, and I mean, and you were forced to, right, in this case.
We had no choice.
Yeah, exactly. So.
You had to go through pod multiple times. You had to go through. What did you have to go through pod multiple times? What? Yeah, no, you had to go through pod multiple times. You had to go through Thieves Town. Not Thieves Town. Turtle Rock multiple times. Technically, you had to go through Hera multiple times. No, not.
I think you had to go through Eastern.
Hera. Eastern.
I mean, we didn't have a bow until pretty late, right? But there was like a glove, and there was our first sword via, you know, the mushroom from the big chest. I mean, that was early, granted.
Right.
And yeah, and like, you know, unfortunately, we look like that we actually maybe we didn't necessarily have to, I think, go into Skull Woods multiple times, but I think for all intents and purposes,
you had to. Well, I mean, you didn't have.
I mean, yeah, exactly, right. I mean, we were watching.
If you
Yeah.
didn't, you're in Super Nintendo.
Yeah, exactly. It is just such a bad
Where
situation.
I didn't go into Pod and into Turtle Rock, into Skullwoods early, and therefore now I've had to go into Turtle Rock like 3 times.
Yeah, yeah. Because you really, you know, of all things to literally be on Laser Bridge, right? I mean, a small key, like from before you climb the mountain, try and make that time investment into the decision. There's just no way that you would think, oh yeah, of course, a small key to Turtle Rock is just going to be on Laser Bridge, so therefore I'm going to be able to complete the dungeon. Like you're never going to think that when there are so many other, well, non-Laser Bridge locations that Turtle Rock small key can be in.
Yeah, no, I mean, this has just been rough.
Yeah.
It's been really, really rough. So, oh.
Yeah, but I guess like the good news is that, you know, like S&T is, well, he's in go mode, so he's going to just do knock out these dungeons. You know, he's going to finish up Desert Palace. He's going to finish up Pod. He is going to just basically go mode the rest of Swamp, and he's going to pull his, you know, GT Big Key off of Ped. So at least he has like a, you know, now is actually a very clear path, right? As in, no more no more unknowns. I don't have to make any more decisions. It is just let me finish the game. But yeah, but kind of like
Finally.
on the yeah. Yeah, but unfortunately, you know, kind of like looking at Will's screen, right? Will does in this case have a pretty sizable advantage in terms of time. So, I mean, that being said, though, you know, like things can still happen. Never count your Triforce pieces before they attach from the proverbial something. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know where I was going with this.
No. I get you. It's at this point here, you're just going as quickly as you can and just hoping for the best. You know, I think both runners at this point are kind of going, all right, when am I going to see the dot done? When am I going to see it? When am I going to see it? When am I going to see it? And it's you just gotta kind of keep on going and hope that maybe your opponent messed up something more than you did.
Yeah, I mean, and again, like maybe speaking from Will's perspective, there were things that, you know, certainly that he probably, you know, wasn't pleased with himself about, right? There were, like I'm sure, like I think you mentioned earlier, like the Pokey's death in Turtle Rock earlier. I mean, it was a time loss. I mean, I'm sure he wasn't happy with it, but you know, the grand scheme of things, you know, I guess maybe didn't cost much, but he doesn't know that, right?
Right, and I'm pretty sure if you ask him, to think that right now he's probably the least happy about would probably be the hookless swamp dive that he did. But you know, it is what it is at this point. He pulls the real go mode item there.
Yeah, oh, that's true.
GT Big Key. Off of the pedestal here, and it is now time to climb the mountain for the infinitieth time.
To Infinitieth and Pgog time, yes.
To Infinity and Pgogeth time, and we are gonna go climb a tower here. And just quick answer there for chat there. This week, AAD keys almost all dungeons. The way that they are forcing the all dungeons part of this is they threw the GT Big Key on Ped. So all this week they are Ped seeds, and all this week it is GT Big Key on Ped. With all the fun that implies.
Yes.
Because, oh boy.
Hey, at least we didn't have to do any of the basement. That could save us a couple dozen maybe of collection rate. Yeah.
I mean, true. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
We didn't have to go to the basement today.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Yeah, I think anything else. I think did everything else. Like I don't think there's a single green spot left here in our. In our I'm sorry. We did not pick up the lumberjack item. Okay.
Not the lumberjack. Not bumper ledge. I guess we didn't have to do bumper ledge.
Oh, yeah, that's true. We did see the 10 bombs there. I for what they probably would have liked it, you know, at the beginning of the seed because it did look like everyone was pretty resource constrained. But yeah, probably at that point they weren't interested in taking the extra time to go get the 10 bombs.
All right, Will not even having to think about choosing left or right today, just going. Press A button, fall offside, press A button again, and then continue.
Yeah, I was like, I think he's just happy not having to think anymore, like, about decisions. You know, it's like, yeah, I just want to press some buttons. I would be very happy to do that. The good thing
Yeah.
about towers is that there's not really anywhere to go except up.
Yep.
You know, like
Well-
falling is not a good idea, right?
Yeah, typically, yeah, you want to avoid the falling if you can. It tends to result in hospital bills. But anyway, moving on to this Super Nintaler got going towards his last crystal. Yes, crystal. I'm having to make sure it's a crystal. Yes, crystal. And unfortunately, kind of the other unfortunate thing for Super Nintaler thing on
The only
list
other
of
unfortunate
unfortunate things, yeah, is that his kind of finishing off dungeons, the ones he's gonna just kind of have to complete here, unfortunately, are the quite long ones. It takes a while to get back to Argus there for the the second time there, because you got to go through all the mirror portals and stuff, and Pod you got to run all the way through that.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah,
run all the way through the rest of it to get to Helmasaur. As this is Isaac just wants to turn around, and this is where I casually mentioned to Will, if he's listening, my man, I think you picked up a B at some point.
Actually, I don't think he has the B. You know, Iker actually, again, this is why he's one of the best trackers. He only has 3 bottles. S&T was the one who checked the second chest of Castle Tower. Will never got back.
Will, I'm pretty sure that you had a I'm pretty sure that you had a bug net at some point.
That's right. I do very much agree. I
You
believe
also
the
have
bug net was
1,300 rupees right now. If you wanted a B, you could have just walked up and got it right there.
If only we had the boots before Ice Rock came, because he could have gone to like catch the bee, right? The good bee, like on the other side, like on the side that nobody ever goes to.
Yep. Yeah. No, that is another option. There, into the Helmasaur fight goes Super Nintaler here. Gonna use some bombs to soften up the mask a little bit here. Pull out his hammer and give him a few good whacks upside the head.
It literally is upside the head because he is hammering up. I very much appreciate the technical correctness of your statements.
Wordplay, catch it.
That's right. Yeah, S&T also very much not caring about the state of his health because, yeah, I don't think he's in any danger of taking early Death Warp out of Helmasaur. But yeah, you did mention correctly, I mean, like, very astutely that, yeah, all the dungeons that S&T kind of had left, the stuff that basically was on Laser Bridge that was locked that he had come back for, they were not short dungeons. And so even though he wasn't go mode, his go mode, the time between his go mode / pulling ped, up to the finishing of the game is going to be longer than what Will had.
Yep. Okay, Moldorm 2 down. Aga 2 time. Super Nintaler on his way over
To pedestal?
towards the pedestal.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta go get this GT big key. Then
Yeah,
gotta
yeah.
go climb it on.
For what it's worth, I'm glad that people are still remembering that you do in fact have to pull the pedestal. I don't know if I've actually seen any races this week that people have actually like gone up to GT without the big key. That would be a very heartbreaking moment. Like you climbed basically all the way, but you don't of course have the GT big key. But
I'm just saying,
things have happened. So
Clear Mouse, my race is on Thursday.
oh, I'm sorry.
Give
I'm
me
sorry.
the
Days. Okay,
opportunity,
write this
alright?
down.
Give me the
Okay.
opportunity. All right. Very nice. Aga
Grow
2.
some extra fingers, and you make sure that you don't forget the GT big key.
All right, this is a good Aga 2 there from Will as he's now hook-shotting the door saying, let me out, let me out, let me out, let me out. And the bird
We're almost
obliges.
there. We're almost there. Yeah. Meanwhile, the S&T is going to start his climb, which is all great. So, yeah, I mean, well... So, the book, Bombos, I mean, that all stuff must be in GT, right? I mean, we obviously didn't see anything on Will's side. Like, that GT compass really helped us just solidify the fact that we have 0 items picked up from GT.
Yep. That's always kind of an interesting feeling there, as Will is having a bit of a start to his Ganon fight here.
He's got the cape, it's fine.
He's got the cape, right? Yep, he's got the cave. He's draining that magic a little bit. 3 baubles, I don't know what's in them.
One blue,
I
one
assume he
red.
does.
Yeah,
I hope
I
he
don't.
does.
I'm not sure if he's willing to take out the lamp. Like, I don't know how many fire rod shots you get from basically just this. I don't know if it's. I don't think it's enough, but I guess we'll see what he decides to do in phase 4.
Well, we're getting there in a minute. As soon as Ganon just stays still. Not yet.
Ganon,
Still not
it's
yet.
bedtime soon here on the East Coast. Okay, it's like almost work time, and on the Korean coast.
Ganon's just showing off at this point here. I
He
think.
is.
All right, Will pulls out the fire rod, lights one, and runs into a slight issue. And all right, lights this in.
Oh my god!
That's a spawn.
Oh wow! That,
All
oh.
Goes for
Oof.
that. Auto bottle, nothing. Okay, blue potion. All right, he's okay. He's okay. Everything's fine. The world
Yeah, it
is...
looks like he might need to light the torches again, which, you know, again, it's all good.
All right, one more silver arrow. Okay, now Will holds his sword in the air and go ahead and get your GGs into chat for Will WC, who survives this race in first place. And yeah, that's GG's to Will there for sure.
Yeah, big GGs to Will. It was a seed. It was an extremely challenging seed. Mentally and physically, might I add. But I mean, I think the true winner probably was us watching, but really Will like stuck it out. I mean, S&T's also doing, you know, he's finishing up the seed, but man, this seed really it really forced you up the mountain like 15 times.
Yeah, I mean, I know on my side here, I was just commentating the seed, like I was getting tired. Halfway through.
And we didn't even
I
play
didn't have
this,
to
yeah.
deal with it.
Alright, well, we are here joined by the survivor of the seed in first place. Hello, Will. GG's.
Yeah, that's exactly what it feels like. GG's.
Anything you'd like to say about this seed, Mr. Red?
Well,
I think the floor is yours to
my
try
calves
or
are so sore because I feel like I have just been going up and down mountains nonstop for, I don't know, the better, like the second half of that seed, basically. Yeah, that was goofy. I don't know what else to say.
I mean, anytime that you have to go all the way down to Laser Bridge, get a small key off of Laser Bridge to mirror back to go get your Desert Palace small key out of Lava Chest to go get your Fire Rod so that you could complete the whole stupid dungeon.
Never mind that you had to make. Never mind that you had to make a special trip over to Floating Island just to get into Misery Mire, so that you could eventually come back and clear Mire, so you could get your green pendant, so you could get your Quake medallion, so you could get into TR in the first place.
Yep. It was a lot. I think it was a lot.
So when I went over, after I did Hera and got the mitts, I went over to Dark Death Mountain. I wanted to see what the TR medallion was, and I was like, if it's Quake, I'm just going to go straight in there and just get it off of Floating Island. But then I was like, you know, so after that I saw that it was Ether, so grab Super Bunny. It's like, do I grab it now just to save the trip back here if it's Mire? No, I don't have hook or boots. There's no way even to get in Mire right now, so let's just leave it. You know, what's the worst that could happen?
Are you telling us that you were cursed by the boots? Well,
and then, well, you know, the fact that they showed up in Mire Shed, you know, just to poke fun at me for leaving the Quake there. Didn't feel great, but then going back for him, coming back for Mire, then going to Pod, getting the Mire big key, coming back for Mire again. Yeah, God, what? Just I felt like I did everything 3 times in this seed.
mean, some of it you had no option.
Yeah.
That was the worst part of it. It's just sometimes it was just like, yep, you got to do this, and you got to do it this way. So
I'm really
good
trying
luck.
to think, like, yeah, I'm trying to think if you actually had a spoiler log for this. You know, maybe, you know, in reference to the pilot spoiler week coming up, you know, which could, I mean, like, yes, you can make it more efficient. I'm just trying to think how much more efficient you can make it, because, you know, as you said, right, there were just multiple forced, you know, to Infinity and Pgog-esque number of times you have to go climb that mountain, right? So,
Oh yeah, that was.
yeah.
Ay, 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 ay.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the nice thing was you had a flute to go back and forth between it.
Yeah, flute was nice. You know, boots weren't as late as they could have been. That's about all the nice things I can say about this one.
You didn't
That's
pick
fair.
up your bee, Will, in the second chest of Castle Tower? How dare you?
I was going to. That was going to be my last location. I think, other than, you know, if I got the 6th pod key, I might have put off Harmless Hellway a little bit longer than that. But that was going to be my, like, since I checked it at 10 minutes, I'm never coming back here for this, especially after I did, like, early pyramid and everything. So it was just, yeah.
Actually, yeah. Sorry, but that is something I was wondering. When you were up at Trinex there, did you kind of have any like inkling that it was probably hookshot there? Because we had noticed on this side that the pod keys didn't make sense. Still,
Yeah.
and
I knew
Trinex had to have
there
something.
still had to be some pod keys out there. I hadn't put together enough logic to figure out if any of the pod keys were otherwise behind hookshot or anything, but I wasn't ruling out like hookshot being in front of GT at that point. In fact, that's when it came down to, do I go back and clear TR now for 3 items plus red crystal, or do I come back and dive hookless swamp? Like that was kind of the thinking, was like, I'm a lot more likely to stumble into Thieves' Big Key in front of swamp, and if I had found it there, I was just going to bail and go straight for GT, looking for a hookshot there. But yeah, the pod keys was something that I had considered because I knew they had to all be outside GT, and I was like, well, there's not a lot of spots left for them, so
Right.
yeah, there. I mean, it was pretty close to a last location for me getting back to TR the final time for the Thieves' Big and the hookshot, obviously, but at the same time, I felt like the sequence as far as getting into Mire and then getting back into TR and everything that was gated by the first trip through TR, I still felt decent about my position in the race from that.
And it looks like we are also joined in chat here by Superman Taylor, who I imagine finished, unfortunately kind of froze in the middle of the Ganon fight there. I imagine also, yep, as we see that, apparently got done with his Ganon fight there. GG's, and hope you're feeling okay to Superman Taylor there. That was a
Yo,
scene.
S&T, yeah, GG's.
Yeah, I'm doing all right. I made some risky plays and it didn't pay out, I guess.
Your hovering was on point, though.
Yeah,
Every single
it
thing that
was.
you did was really spot on. It was just kind of unfortunate that it basically ended up being hookshot go mode, so like, it was, yeah.
Well,
But your
it's
home tracker was good.
Yeah. It's mostly my fault, because the reason I made that play to immediately leave TR and go to Thieves Town is I made so many mistakes this seed. Like, so many things, like, halfway through my routing, I was like, I routed that so poorly. Like, I think I dropped down after Hera to do, like, Spike Cave or something when I could have done that after the Dark World. I forgot I didn't have hookshot, so I was just gonna hook around and then finish, and I was like, wait, I don't have hookshot, I gotta climb all the way back up again. There was like at least 5 times where I just routed it poorly, and I realized I routed it poorly, and I just felt like I might not have been in a good place in this race, so that's why I kind of made some plays like that where I just left and hoped it would work out. Didn't work out. Turned out Laser Bridge had like literally everything I needed, well, except for the hookshot, but Trinex had that, so it was unfortunate.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, kind of what threw you behind at the very beginning was not having the bombs to go over to Ice Rod Cave, which unfortunately locked your Moon Pearl, and then you got back to that later. So you were kind of behind the 8 ball. Was that kind of leading towards kind of making like the hookless swamp plays and a couple of the other ones that you did?
Yeah, those are all because I felt behind. Again, just so many routing mistakes. Like, I didn't purposely leave Ice Rod Cave. I realized later, I was like, wait, I forgot to do Ice Rod Cave. And that wasn't a calculated play. That was a oops, I forgot. I did that quite a few times in the seed, and I just did not feel good about my position. So that's kind of why you saw all those weird plays I was making when I could have done something that made more sense. But
I mean, in a seed like this, I mean, all of your plays made sense with the information you had.
Yeah.
This seed was mean. it just was mean.
It was pretty mean, yeah.
Yeah, it's
It
hard to
did
get...
hurt my feelings a little bit.
It's hard to get through this without doing everything in some order, and it really just kind of comes down to, do you find the faster order on this one, I think, more than anything else.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
it sounds like, especially with the TR play, like leaving early, that's something that would have hurt. And yeah, this is just... I had my gambles too, and a couple of them did actually pay off. So, you know, like the early Eastern play was kind of nice to have the glove and cape and whatever else was in there early on, and the haha Eastern big key.
Yeah, I got Eastern pretty early too, and I felt good about it, but then I didn't feel good about it anymore when I saw the mirror. I was like, oh, actually, I feel bad now.
Yeah, that's fair.
But there were a couple times where I felt like the plays I made paid off, like when I dipped Swamp and I forget what I got in there, but I was like, ooh, this could be an out for me. Can't remember, I think it was on the left side Swamp.
You got that bow there, right?
Oh, right, yeah. I thought maybe that could be an out for me, but then I just kept making more mistakes later on. I was like, I can't get a break.
Yeah, that bow would have been huge for you if it turned out like the Misery Mire Big Key had been on like Armos instead of on bow locked pod there.
Yeah.
You know, that would have turned the game completely in your favor there. But yeah, unfortunately, like, you know, there one potion unlocks that side, and you know, Will was able to get the Mire Big Key and kind of stay on track.
Yeah, away she goes.
Yeah, rando be rando that way sometimes.
Pretty much, yeah. Oh, I discovered you cannot deflect the Aghanim attacks back at him by dashing at his attacks. Doesn't work.
Good to know. Good to know.
It was a nice attempt.
It works for the people.
Yeah.
It worked in Swordless Week last year. That's all I know.
Yeah.
Well, I guess like looking ahead though, so this actually kind of wraps up, I guess, your quote unquote double header today on Tuesday. But looking ahead, pilot spoiler next week. Who's excited?
I'm excited.
It should be a fun one.
Don't tell the admins. I'm excited though.
Oh, perfect. Okay. I know. You know, mods and admins definitely don't talk. You know, in the back end.
No.
So.
No.
Yeah, it should be a good.
Any ideas who are going to be running those races next week, or?
I think for us, I'm going to be full-time pilot for Relkin and Humbug, and then we'll see who we end up matching up with. But I have a feeling Moogle's going to be piloting, so that'll be, at least for me, a rematch of how the spoiler pilot tourney ended for me last year. So that'll be a fun matchup for sure.
Yeah, Thelane and I will be running, and Ressi's gonna pilot both of us. And I think Ressi needs to be our ringer this season. He's gonna carry us to victory. I can feel it.
No pressure.
Should be a lot of fun though. I'm definitely looking forward to Pilot Spoiler Week. Don't tell admins.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
I enjoy any modes that involve co-op. Been a lot of fun playing with other people.
One thing's for sure, it won't take 2+ hours to finish next week at least.
No.
Oh, unless something has gone terribly, terribly wrong. I was actually gonna say, like, S&T, I think at least after this seed, you know, you don't have to make any more decisions, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
that's gonna
but
be
Will,
awesome.
yeah, but Will, I'm sorry, like, you have to keep thinking.
That's the way it goes.
Nice collection, right, S&T? You definitely win this seed.
Yeah,
You'll
I
try
play
harder next
best when I
time?
don't have to think.
Okay. Well, thank you guys so much. I mean, you guys really are the heroes of tonight, or at least for this race, because this seed was absolutely, well, it was an excursion. Yes, Will said it was basically like you are Sherpas basically for how many times you had to climb the mountain. Hopefully again, yeah, next couple weeks you won't have to suffer that experience again.
Sure would
Any
be
other-
nice.
Any other thoughts then before we kind of close things up? Get some nice evening relaxation time before bed.
Exactly. No, GG's Taylor, and thank you, Dazed and Clear Mouse. Thanks for the comms, and Ikir, thank you for the clicking.
GG's.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. Thank you, Iker. Always, I'm gonna try and keep track of how many eyes he's gotten, you know, since the seed. But it was a lot. But really do appreciate all the things you've done for a seed, keeping us. I mean, he knows everything. He watches probably the runners closer than we do on the commentary screen. And Days, of course, thank you so much. Always a blast to be able to talk with you.
Yeah, definitely. Same, Clear Mouse. This was
This
was
wasn't
a
a
race.
this was
a
an
race.
adventure. For all parties involved, this was.
Oh
was an
yeah,
adventure.
I think both runners are happy that that's finished and they can go and do something else with the
Yeah.
wash the taste out of their mouth a little bit there.
Yeah, that sounds good. All right,
But
well, I guess.
oh, go ahead, so.
I don't know. I was just gonna wrap things up with the schedule. Just looking ahead for tomorrow. More AAD's keys excitement. If you like this type of shenanigans from the seed, you have a lot to look forward to tomorrow. So starting at 5:10 p.m. Eastern, we have Bree versus Mr. Aaron Snurd, and then basically a slew of them Wednesday night starting at 8:10 p.m. So we have Killer App versus Wolfie, Jesse versus Artie Walsh, Dapper Warman versus Jet, Danny Music versus Megawatt. Like there are a lot of great races, and if you would like to either help click these track these races or maybe talk about the races, and have some entertainment in the front row seat, feel free to help sign up and commentate or track the races. Always appreciate any help. Until then, yeah, have a great rest of your evening or morning, for that matter, for you days, or early afternoon, I guess, whatever you consider to be. And then we'll see you back for more rando in a couple hours. Couple being, 8 to 10 or whatever. By math. I need more fingers. That's what I learned.